a little less than you thought you would. You call that news, you think that's good. Your phase one trial was misunderstood. Honey, that's a story for the neighborhood. You put a single coin inside a digital vault. Now you're looking at me like it's all my fault. Ha! You must be new to this game, 'cause every time the ending is the same. Go on and fly, baby, reach for the stars. Go tell your story in a million bars. But there's a force down here you just can't deny. No, you can't escape it, so don't you even try. Oh, gravity,
pulling you down.
oh, gravity.
Back to the solid ground.
You can pump it on the rumors, you can pump it on the hype, but you can't escape the law. You're just not the type. Everything that flies that high, yeah, it's gotta come down. All the believers, they're holding on tight, staring at the green with all of their might. Your chart looks like a supernova in the sky, a beautiful explosion, but we all know why. It's the final flash before it fades to black. A one-way ticket and there's no coming back. Not all night, baby, put on a show. Go on and glow, baby, everybody knows that there's a force down here you just can't deny. No, you can't escape it, so wave it all goodbye. Oh, gravity,
Pulling you down.
oh, gravity.
Back to the solid ground.
You can pump it on the rumors, you can pump it on the hype, but you can't escape the law. You're just not the type. Everything that flies that high, yeah, it's gotta come down. Now you can call it physics, you can call it fate, you can call it the market, setting things straight. But I just call it common sense, a universal truth. From a 100-year-old man to a kid in his youth. What goes up is coming back down, so let's get it now. Gravity,
Pulling you down.
sing it, gravity.
Back to the solid ground.
You can pump it on the rumors, you can pump it on the hype, but you can't escape the law. You're just not the type. Everything that flies that high, yeah, it's gotta come down. Now you can call it physics, you can call it fate, you can call it the market, setting things straight. But I just call it common sense, a universal truth. From a 100-year-old man to a kid in his youth. What goes up is coming back down, so let's get it now. Gravity,
Pulling you down.
sing it, gravity.
Back to the solid ground.
You can pump it on the rumors, you can pump it on the hype, but you can't escape the law. You're just not the type. Everything that flies that high, yeah, it's gotta come down. What goes up?
Must come down.
Yeah, what goes up?
Must come down.
Oh, I feel it pulling down, 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 down. Oh, that sweet, sweet gravity.
Alright, place your bets, folks. I already know my hand. They're going all in on a pocket full of air, a flashy press release and a wing and a prayer. Think they got a royal flush, a can't miss thing, pushing that stock up, listen to the choir sing. But I'm on my second beer, ain't even worried none. This high stakes gamble's already been won. Go on and push your chips, I kinda love the show. Higher and higher, baby, let the good times roll. But every party's got an ending when the music's thin. That's when they all realize the trouble they're in. They can be the masters of the moonshot trip, but I'm the one and only, yeah, the king of the dip. When the chart turns south and starts to slip and slide, that's when I hop on board and I enjoy the ride. Watch it go low, now that's my kind of show. Everybody's scared of seeing red on the screen. To me that color's the prettiest I've ever seen. 'Cause I don't need a rocket, I don't need a peak, a company that's looking weak. The lower that it goes, the bigger that I grin, watching all my pretty little winnings rolling in. Go on and cheer it on, I wanna see the height. Yeah, light it up, baby, make it burn real bright. Cause the brighter that it burns, the faster it'll fade. And that's the foundation of the trades I made. They can be the masters of the moonshot trip, but I'm the one and only, yeah, the king of the dip. When the chart turns south, it starts to slip and slide. That's when I hop on board and I enjoy the ride. Watch it go low, now that's my kind of show. It ain't about the glory, it ain't about the fame. It's about knowing the rules to a different kind of game. While they're all looking up, my eyes are looking down. Cause that's where the real treasure in this town is found. They can be the masters of the moonshot trip, but I'm the one and only, yeah, the king of the dip. When the chart turns south, it starts to slip and slide. That's when I hop on board and I enjoy the ride. King of the dip. Yeah, they can have the peak, I'll take the valley every time. You know the steps. Ha, let's get it. 6 a.m. the coffee's hot and brewing. Scanner's light is cutting through the ruin. Found the one, that diamond in the rough. What's on the crypto treasury? Ain't that funny stuff? They're buying in, they think they struck some gold. About to watch the greatest story ever sold. The volume's pumping so loud and clear, but I hear a different rhythm in my ear. And oh, I see it climbing, what a scene. 1,000 buyers glued up to the screen. But I ain't sweating, nah, I'm cool and calm. Cause the DJ's about to play my favorite song. They do the chase, I do the fade away funk. Oh yeah, betting on that garbage, that beautiful junk. Let 'em run it up, up, up to the sun. I'll be waiting at the top just to have my fun. Dancing on the way back down till the day is done. The fadeaway funk. The FOMO's kick and see them lose their heads. Believe in every single word that's said. Our earnings call a wild success. It just means the company's a slightly smaller mess. I found my entry clean and so precise. Don't have to think it over, don't have to check it twice. Cause I've seen this movie, baby, and I know the end. Here comes the final scene, my friend. Oh, I see it topping out, what a view. The panic setting in for the whole darn crew. But I ain't selling, baby, I'm just getting warm. Cause this is just the quiet before the storm. They do the chase, I do the fade away funk. Oh yeah, betting on that garbage, that beautiful junk. Let 'em run it up, up, up to the sun. I'll be waiting at the top just to have my fun. Dancing on the way back down till the day is done. Some people call it gambling, say it's just a guess. But this ain't random, baby, this is chess. It's a rhythm, it's a beat that I can feel. The pump is the illusion, but the fade is real. They do the chase, I do the fade away funk. Come on, betting on that garbage, that beautiful junk. Let 'em run it up, up, up to the sun. I'll be waiting at the top just to have my fun. Dancing on the way back down till the day is done. Oh, the fade away. Funky bassline and how much come down, now down. Yeah, that's the one, just like that. Fade away funk.
All right, Green Team, how are we doing out there? Another Friday night live stream, and we got an exciting one for you guys tonight. Actually, there's 4 of us. There's going to be 4 of us here tonight. There's a mystery guest we're going to bring on here in a second. I'm very excited to dive into his strategy and how he's been doing lately. But we got the same crew as last week as well. Fades and Byron, they're waiting in the wings. Let's bring them on in. Fades and Byron, how are we doing, guys?
Bringing me in right as I'm drinking my beer. Thanks.
Drinking already. That Friday night. Hey, it's been a great week. The week's been amazing for the green team, right? Green week ahead, and I'm just excited to celebrate with you guys. How did you guys end up?
All right, there we go.
Fades.
Sorry. Yeah,
I
my
got
girl.
this.
I got a microphone, but I'm still in the process of setting it up, guys. So bear with us.
Oh, you
Just
got
out
a
of the
mic.
mail like right now.
But yeah,
So,
what's going on, guys?
yeah, so I went to the local ABC and I got the guy, the guy who's like, hey, what's in the back there? They gave me this Johnny Drum. Apparently it's some allocated bourbon. That's pretty good. So I figured good green week, celebrate with the green team with the good
Yeah.
old Johnny Drum. What about you guys? What are you drinking tonight?
I got. I'm
I got
surprised
a
it's not
zombie
Coke.
dust.
Oh, man.
And then I did. I'm not a big fan, but I went and poured some makers for you.
Yeah, dude, I
Nice.
almost got the
Double
makers.
down.
I'd really like that bottle.
It's a
good
Makers
bottle.
46.
Yeah.
Sick.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Yeah, we got the crew in here tonight. All right, so the surprise guest tonight has been around for a good while. He's been a part of the green team for a while now. I know him specifically from when he went over to CMEG, and he grew, from what I remember, 1,000 to 4,000 relatively quickly, just shorting Euphoria and kicking back. Now, what I remember from this individual is he would take shorts, into the Euphoria and pre-market, and then he would just step away. He'd say, you know what? Let's let the trade work out. I'm going to go shower. I'm going to go eat breakfast. I'm going to relax. Mr. Barron in the building. How are we doing, Dr. B? Are you an actual doctor?
I am a psychologist. Right.
Dr. B, absolutely. What are you drinking on tonight?
Tonight it's gonna be some Weller.
Oh, you got the
Nice.
Weller special. Let's
Sir.
go. This is a
Sir.
good bottle. It's a good bottle.
How you doing,
Yeah.
gentlemen?
Doing good. It's been a good green week. So, how's the account been going, Dr. B?
Well, it has been ups and downs. I'll tell you, August was definitely one of my worst months in a while. This was a month where I think, so you were just commenting on my strategy. You know what? I'm gonna set 100 shares here. I am gonna take this. It's fine. I'll walk away. I got a baby. So this was like the start of it was, I think Ethereum was blowing up, and we saw a move go from $5 to $55, and I was short at 8.
Wow.
Now, no market halt stop. It goes pretty much all the way, I think, to 15 before I'm checking it again, and I'm just shell shocked.
Man.
It's like
No
that
stops
started
placed.
off, huh?
No stops placed.
So with Dash Trader and pre-market stops, they typically don't work. I do have a workaround that I can sometimes. It's like hit or miss. It's a trigger order that I'll place to buy a share, and then they'll sell the full position. Or I'm sorry, reverse that. They'll sell a share short, and they'll cover the full position. And that's
wow.
something that I use. But this particular day, I was rushing, getting ready for work. This was like 7:40 in the morning, and it was just it set the entire month off for me in this whole way where I was like tilted, just seeing my account dwindle and dwindle against going long or against going short.
Interesting. So, I mean, you found a lot of success to grow 1,000 to 4,000 was the high watermark there. I mean, that's no easy feat right there. I mean, that's challenging to do. And so you were applying that strategy, and I know MG just posted in chat like August was challenging for him too. So you were just still slow scaling, but August we just saw like this strength that was unlike the prior months.
No, it was surreal, and I definitely recognize, and I've only been trading for a year. I definitely recognize different markets that I excel in. Again, there was a month when I had 4 times my account, and that's only when the market conditions are just right. And we've only had a few days like that recently, but all of our August, it felt like all my shorts. If I'm not looking at it, it will shoot 40 or 50 cents and blow me up. If I'm not out, or probably my biggest concern as a trader is I'm usually not out. I'm like, all right, if I can just get the top,
Yeah.
I'll be fine in a couple hours. But that's not how August plays have been working out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
The reclaims and like all the strength and all the like the offering pumps and all the themes. Like it's been
Offering.
it's so
August.
disgusting. Like we always talk about the over conviction. Like it's almost so bad. The stocks that like
Mhm.
BTC. Like yesterday, I knew that thing was going to be a dump. But
Oh,
like
yeah.
after hours, it just took everyone's money. Like the whole day, they just took everyone's money because it was so choppy. But
Oh,
like
yeah.
ultimately, it faded. But it's just, yeah, man. Like the pumps just get away from
Gotta
it.
have not the the offering pumps like you mentioned. It's ridiculous, but you gotta have not the eliminate the over conviction. I mean, fades because you were like convicted on Wolf and you stepped away from that and focused more BTTC because that one was working out. So involving yourself in multiples. I don't
Yeah,
know, Dr. B. Maybe that's something to look at. Involving yourself in multiples. It maybe
yeah,
reduce the bias and then see what's working, not working, and taking off.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think that's like one of the golden rules. Like you can never tunnel. And what helps is that pre-market watch list we make, and then
Mhm.
sprinkling, getting involved with like backside plays because that preoccupies yourself and it scratches that kind of like natural urge to be in a trade, right? We always have the over trading bug. So if we're working those backside plays and spread out, that paper cut hurts even less. Like the risk is
Mhm.
managed. On top of it, you're green in like 2 other trades, so you're
Yeah.
good. And I don't know, Baron, if you're with Trade the Pool or if you're with Oceans, um, or what was that, Dash Trader, but
Yeah. Yeah.
with Trade the Pool, we just figured out that we can utilize our stops now, like pre and post market, and that is so powerful. So what I'm doing is I'm actually swinging some of these plays like overnight, and because then they just fade all day the next morning, and like I don't even have to be there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
to manage my risk and take those trades. So yeah, I actually have a few plays going into next week. So we'll see.
You're in
that's
trades now.
Yeah.
That's, well, he has the stops, and this is one of the benefits I see with Trade the Pool, where I use Oceans. And one of the things that's most, no, there's a couple of big issues with Ocean, but one of the things is that you cannot borrow overnight. If you borrow overnight, the fees will outpace any kind of growth
Interesting.
shorting.
Well, short, right? Because then you're paying the locate again for each day that you're borrowing those shares,
Yeah.
especially when those locates get expensive, depending on how the price of the locates, that
Right.
you're
So,
paying those every day that you borrow the shares. So if you borrow overnight, then
yeah. And so it could be that the locate was 0.0006 per share, but now it's 0.12 cents a share. And so if I try to hold a position like that and the position goes even slightly green, I could still be red on that trade.
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
you're with Oceans now and not CMEG.
Yeah, I was flipping a quarter really between the two, and so I ended up having a back and forth dialogue with a woman in Jamaica on CMAC, asking about where's my bank transfer and how does this
Many of
work.
those.
Yep, been through those. I will say though that with CMEG, C Pro does let you use stops in pre and post market as well if you use C Pro for those that are still on there.
That's
I think
interesting. I didn't know that either.
yeah,
Like
I don't
having
know
those
if
is so powerful. Like it really
yeah.
is, because like that's how blowups happen, right?
Yeah,
When you
Mhm.
have your stop and you step away, or you guys have kids and stuff, like
Yep.
things can happen, and then all of a sudden you're down a couple hundred, and so the psychology's blown. You're
That
just
is
It's
my
awesome.
every morning that I'm trading and I have my toddler running around and I'll enter a trade and then she's getting into something and I'm like, oh, I gotta go deal with this, and it goes
You're like
30 cents against me while I'm
it's crazy, bro.
keeping
Yeah,
her
I
out of the
can
trash
imagine.
can.
Yeah,
You like
it's actually
full size something, and then they blow out a diaper, and you're like, oh shit.
And I'll tell you,
um,
if it's not the toddler running up to me, it's the cat. If it's not the cat, it's my wife. It's always when I'm in a trade, and then
yeah,
suddenly the trade is $80 against me immediately, and I
right.
have to sit there and act like I'm not.
Everything's fine. It's all good though. Like nothing. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm just down $1 per share.
yeah, yeah. Try explaining that to them. Like they don't care. Like they don't understand what
yeah,
that means. Like that's just $1. You're only down $1. That's
right.
I
nothing, right?
know, dude. It's like the opportunity cost. Like that DFLI called for the freaking 220, but the wife wanted to go eat lunch, and I'm like, okay, I'll go eat lunch. I should have been sitting there. We were at the Roadhouse. I should have been sitting there like trading DFLI at the 220.
No. It's
No.
I
fine.
honestly
It's
like
always gonna be an
would
opportunity.
encourage anyone to not have the apps on your phone. Like I feel like that has gotten me in so much trouble just because like I want to trade all the time, but if I have it on my
Mhm.
phone and I'm not there, I'll trade on my phone, and I don't trust myself to trade on my phone.
Yeah, it's not the same. And I mean, nowadays, now with the rule of the evals, you really have to pay attention to volume as well. So that's another factor. But if anything, like leftover position working from your phone or like super small size, but you
Yeah,
never
if I want to
size.
enter a trade from my computer and then walk away, and I'll set the stop, I'll set the take profit before I even walk away, and then I can monitor it from my phone. But I'm not going to be entering new trades from my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
BTTC was beautiful because I just left that on all day. No profit. I mean, no profit target, just the stop, and she faded all day
Yeah,
to like
dude.
$9. That was great, dude.
Yeah,
That
that was
was
a great
excellent.
cover at like
Thank
10.
you, Fade.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you
That was
covered
awesome.
the rest. Your leftovers at 10.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, that was
I
excellent.
I covered, and then I got back in at a certain point. There was a spike up, and I got back in,
That
and
was
even when it went, huh?
yeah, that was just an amazing fader today. That was just beautiful setup.
Another surprise one was the BBT. I don't know if we're getting right into the stock, but there was a couple of really nice faders, and it just like these are the kind of market conditions where I'm currently sitting at a $1,500 account, and I made over $400 today.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice
And
percentage.
so
Yeah,
these are
dude.
the kind of days where I want to keep averaging around for 250 to 300 a day. That's it. That's the
Mm-hmm.
kind of I'm only going to
So
be.
how can we avoid like the August drawdown that you had? Like, have you been able to reflect on that and say, okay, what do I need to do to avoid the drawdown? Let's maximize the winning days, but avoid those capitulating losses. What do you think?
So this is an interesting question for me because I'm a psychologist and I know everything that's wrong with my own mentality when it comes to trading. And if so I actually have attention deficit disorder combined type. So it's impulsivity. That's usually what's leading to me over trading and
Mm-hmm.
hopping into a trade before I've got a plan. So if I
Yeah.
pull up Fast Trader, there's like 7 or 8 fundamental statistics where I'm looking at the volume bar, I'm looking at the float, I'm looking at news,
Mm-hmm.
and usually when something's moving, there's an impulsive moment where if I'm not even checking the bid ask spread, I could be in trouble, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
impulsivity to hop on something to either try to short it or try to long it is really strong. But
Yeah.
there's play after hours. So I was shorting a couple $3 stocks after hours today, but there was something recent that I actually just traded, CRML. And I was hopping out of a session. This thing pops up. I jump into it.
Oh,
And this thing, shorts are free to locate for me, and it shoots up 50 cents, right? Then I average into it. Now, sometimes a stock will return to that baseline, maybe even a little bit of profit. And if they're free short locates, I'm getting way more than what I would typically pay for. But if it doesn't turn around and I'm negative $200, I sit there and I don't
Yeah.
close the trade. It happens too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If it
Yeah.
shoots $4 against me, I'm like, I need to wait for this to fall out. That's my biggest issue. Is
Yeah.
one bad trade. If I have a $200 day, one bad trade will be negative $800.
Yeah,
Mm.
I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been there
Yes.
like Monday, like this week. Those trades that you enter and like I do the exact same thing. Like I'll enter a trade and then it goes against me and I'll take a little bit more. Like I'm gonna average into it and wait for it to and as it climbs up, and then suddenly I'm down 400, 500, $600, and I just watch it. And like
Yeah.
it's like a paralysis that I'm like, I know I need to exit this, and I
Yeah.
should have exited about $300 ago, and I just keep watching it go against me, and I can't like.
Yeah.
That's a big issue I have, just paralysis of just like watching. Like, what am I
Yes.
supposed to do? Like, I need it to turn around, but it's not going to. Like, what do I
Baron,
do here?
you'll appreciate this, the psychological aspect of this, and it's rings so true amongst so many traders. Is when we're red, we're hopeful. That is how it is. I mean, that's how I am. You're red, you're hoping it curls back around. Then green, I'm scared I'm going to go red, and I take it off too early. Like you have to fight these innate emotions within ourselves. I mess up there too, but thankfully with the Max account, like there were 3 or 4 times that exact same thing. Like Byron, you said Monday, that was me 3 or 4 times with that the eval, and 250 was the max I could lose, and I know I ain't buying out of it. Like I'm too disciplined for that as far as that goes, but undisciplined as far as stopping out when something's just in like after hours pre-market squeezing so high you see the red and you're just like, oh my god, you're deer in headlight. It's in the process of like setting the stop to, okay, I'm gonna risk like 50. Oh, I'm down 300. Okay, and then
Exactly.
yeah, it just happens so quickly. And so the max on the account minus 250 for me is great. It has been so fundamental for the account, I think.
Yeah.
When I get self-destructive, it's not when I'm red, I'm hopeful, and green, I'm scared. It's more like when I'm green, I'm greedy, and when I'm red, I'm scared. And because I don't want to I don't want to realize those those losses,
Yeah.
right? Like I see those losses, I'm like, oh, it's still
It'll come
not
back.
technically real. I'm like, oh, it can come. Like like I'm scared to realize those profits, and so losses, and I don't want to do anything. And then when I go green, I'm like, and then I eventually do, because like I get stopped out of a max loss or something, and then I buy, and then I don't have that self control, and I buy myself through it, and then I go back into it. I'm like, all right, I'm already down 500, and then I get greedy, and I start like I something will go green for me, and I'll hold, and I won't take profits, and then it goes back up against me, and all of a sudden I'm even more red.
Well, at that point, there's other emotions you're facing because now you're trying to get even on the day.
Now I'm revenge trading. Yeah.
Taking the C plus setup, C minus setups, and sizing them too heavy. Yeah,
Yep.
I've been there, done that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's tough. That's tough.
No, Aaron, you said your August was bad. How was your September?
September was break even. It was fine. There was a shift in the market, and I think that I should have been interpreting that shift. When I was break even for the last few months, I was like, okay, the things that I wasn't doing, I wasn't doing. And when I reflected back on what was changing, I think it was more me getting more confident. However, that led to more impulsivity. And so when I've had my best months, it's when if I'm shorting, it's like, all right, I'm a short. If it gets away from me, I'm going to wait until I average into the loser. Because we do know that like all of these stocks with a low float, if they go up to $17, especially if they're a Chinese play or Asian play, it's kind of come back down to 4. But if you average too quickly, too soon,
Mhm.
the stock goes from 4 to 17, and you're averaging a couple hundred shares immediately, you're now
Yeah. That's-
1,000.
That's everything. And I think that's where like trade the pool wins, right? Because you're either going to hit your max loss or you can utilize your stops. And I was always so like I hated that at first. I'm like, oh man, a max loss, like that's so bogus. Like I don't want a max loss. It's the ego, right? And you can understand that, Baron. It's like you don't want to be told to stop. Like, what do you mean you're telling me to stop? Like this is my account, right? It's like ego.
I will email my broker so goddamn quick and say, you better increase my max loss fee.
Yeah, right. It's such an ego thing, and it's like the psychology plays in so big. So how we do it is it just comes back to the simplicity of risk management. It's like we have to figure out what threshold, depending on our account size, we can work with. Like what kind of paper cut we can take. And we have to set the risk, like
Very
Kevin talks
true.
about, establishing the risk before we take the trade, set ourselves up for that paper cut to where we're not emotional at all, right? Like and pre-market and after hours, that's been a huge hurdle because we have to do that like manually. We can't set the robot to take our stop and set our levels, right? But now we can with Trade the Pool or with CPRO. I didn't realize either, but we can utilize that. So we can, if we have the discipline, we can prevent that from happening, right? Like even that CRML, if you're dialed in within 5 seconds, you can set your stop, you know? And so if you really get dialed in like that and manage your risk, I feel like, you know, like assessing your account size and how much you're willing to take. But Baron, I also know that you haven't been trading for years, like some of us. So I think Trade the Pool could be a really great idea for you going forward. It could be something to consider. I'm not a fan of the rules, like the new rules that they've implemented, and that can be a hurdle. But there are a bunch of pros with Trade the Pool and a lot of power as well. So
You know, the crazy thing is I could lose $1,000 in one day and still be too cheap to buy Trade the Pool. Like if I got it for free, I'd be like, okay, that's great. But then I'm like, oh, if I gotta pay $50, meanwhile I'm dumping money into oceans over here.
yeah, so Baron, I think the thing is like I know, like I know how you trade, bro. Like we've been talking, like you know, I can feel it, and so I think what you need to do is go to Trade the Pool and just get aggressive, man. Like you're on a $1,500 account, right? So with Trade the Pool, you spend $120. Now you have $1,000 account, and be aggressive because, like you said, you lose $1,000 and you're chill. Like it's you know. So what's $100 to play it more aggressive and dial in and see what you can do?
I would say like
Dude,
I'm not sure.
in one day before. Like I've done that. I've made 2K. Like Kevin saw a screenshot. I made like 2,500 in one day on these avals. Like so, you can get funded in one day, bro. So it's like, why not?
Halt down, halt down. Beep, 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 beep.
I saw that.
Be out. You get that fill out and learn and pay that tuition, right? Even if you blow up, you're not going to lose that much money. Now, it sounds great, but the rules can be a hurdle. Like when you add all of the rules together, that takes time. That takes time to master, and that's going to be your biggest hurdle. But
Yeah.
but the thing is, like the rules, they're not all technically against you, right? Like they do help you out in a sense to manage your risk and certain things. So it's not all bad. Look at it on a bright perspective. But bro, I feel like you. I mean, at first I was the same way. I'm like, man, I don't want to go to Trade the Pool. I want to stay offshore, this and that. And then I finally went there, and then I kept nagging at Kevin. I'm like, dude, come on, come on, man. Like, try it out. And now look at us, dude. We're trading every day. We're both funded. Like, we're making moves. Like, we're helping the community out. Like, people are making money in chat. Like, people are getting payouts. Byron's getting payouts. Like,
Well,
look at what
here's
we're
the
doing,
thing,
man.
like
Join
like
the wave, bro.
like a lot of the offshore brokers, they don't auto liquidate you, and so I take like one misstep and like the whole freaking journey is just effed, you know? Like you take the one misstep with QMMM like I did on the eval that I ended up getting funded, that I shorted 10 shares at 100. I would have blown that account offshore. Because that thing just skyrocketed to 300 immediately.
I think
And yeah, and so I protect myself from myself, and so the one or two or three misstep you have, like you're protected. I have a max drawdown on the day. I'm a good trader ultimately. We've gone over this too so many times. Like we're good traders. Baron, you're a good trader. You've proven that. Like you're among the 10%, dude. Like seriously, to grow 1 to 4,000 is not easy, and the fact that you've done that's proven that you have a strategy that works. But there are some times where it doesn't work, and you just have to protect yourself from yourself in those moments via the risk management that Fades discussed, which isn't a sexy conversation, but it's a profitable conversation to have.
And here's where I am going to actually refer, and Kevin, if you want to pull the stock up, this is a perfect example, actually happened today. It's what SYTA. So what happened with the stock is that today I was probably up like 240 by this point in the day. It's kind of around the lunch hour, so I'm pulling up the stock. I'm seeing what's still kind of moving. And I
Hmm.
pull up SYTA and I say, okay, this thing doesn't have a lot of volume, decent spread. I can kind of hop in there and short this thing a little bit. Now,
Hmm.
I got in basically at the very beginning in the first, let's say, that's probably actually like 11:50, or actually, I'm sorry, pretty much like 11:55 noon. I'm getting in that. And I'm thinking nothing of it. Like it's regular, it's kind of popping up. I'm gonna get the short, and then if there's no news, it'll just drop. Wasn't paying attention. I'm still shorting it, still taking a little bit of profit, but then it hits basically in the very beginning, zoomed in around that 12 o'clock, basically 10 green candles in a row. It just does not stop. And
Man,
I'm this is what blows me up. This is where I think
the
there's
lunch
gotta be
chop.
some, huh?
It's that lunch chop, man. It's like
Yep.
I've been telling Kevin about this for a long time now. It's like I have that same trend. I make good money in the morning, but if I continue to trade in lunch, or say I'm
Yep.
like break even, or I'm not content with the gains I have, or the over trading ADD bug, whatever you want to call it, the lunch setups get choppy, man. And
Oh, yeah.
it's just it's I've learned that it's just best to step away and like being comfortable knowing that you're gonna miss something, but realizing, like I said, like when you get better hands, like like when I guess kind of the poker analogy, it's like you're gonna get better hands not at lunchtime, right? Like the lunch hour, you just don't get dealt as good of hands like in the long term.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, like, most traders are trying to chase then too, trying to dig themselves out of a hole or like the tilt. Like all of that's going on. The volume's not as heavy. The moves have already kind of been made. And
Yeah.
especially as a short, I realize that some stocks will kind of like get more momentum at lunch, like kind of a new wave that will kind of last as well. So
Now,
yeah, you just got to be really careful, like 12, 1, 2 o'clock. But when you revisit in the afternoon, that's when all the money can be made, right? If you have that
mhm,
discipline to sit on your hands during lunch,
yeah.
like, or if you hit max loss, like on Trade the Pool, and you can't resist, then just revisit it after hours because you'll probably clean up and make your money as a short, right? Like, there's a lot of
Mhm.
money made in after hours.
So, Baron, what I've been hearing is that you see what works like 99.9% of the time, like Germex, and you're getting over convicted. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest with you. Like I think you're dialed in and you have a good strategy, but I,
Mhm.
I don't I don't want to bring this story up if you want to talk about Fades, but Fades did this and it blew like a very large account up that he had after
Mm,
growing it very successfully over time, similar to
too
how
much
you
pain,
work.
bro.
And
God.
you have just got to really like trade it and trade it well, but risk manage. I know Coin, he's a brother of mine, and we've been friends and trading alongside each other for a long
Mhm.
time. He doesn't have a dollar threshold. That's what I did learn from you, Coin, is the trade and validation. I use
I
that
like
all the
you.
time. I'm like, I love
Mhm.
that. We do
Yeah,
use that all the time. Like, is it invalidating based on my original theory? Like, is this a bear flag and this is the level it shouldn't break over? Okay.
exactly.
Okay, then
Mhm.
it's broken over that. I'm out of it. It's invalidated. At this point, I'm
Mhm.
gambling. So I
Yeah,
love that. I personally do use a dollar amount though, if and whatever that may be. But it's like if it hits this level, I set the stops to protect myself from myself, Baron. I know you like to size into play, scale into them, but have that dollar amount in mind. Scale to that area perhaps, but make sure you like put the guardrails up. Have
Oh,
the
yeah.
hard stop.
have a
Have the hard
range.
stop.
Have like a range of risk, kind of like make a hybrid of both of them, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
say I'm going to give a trade 100 to 150 risk or 50 to
Mhm.
75. Give it a little wiggle room because there's never that perfect amount. But yeah, Coin putting a lot of good stuff out there. Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Aaron, do you have I don't know if Oceans has it set up by default, but with CMEG, I think one of the things about the offshore brokers is they don't advertise a lot of what they actually can do. Like one thing like that I learned through CMEG that I was able to do just by talking with their reps was that they don't advertise that you can set a daily, like in TTP you have a daily pause amount that if you hit that you're done for the day. You
I
can
have
actually set that in
20
CMEG.
different options. With Dash Trader, Oceans is able to access 20 different options, including if I have reached a threshold of $100 in profit, I cannot lose 15% or $10.
Okay,
It
that's cool.
has a number of different thresholds that I'm not utilizing right now. I should be. The only one I'm utilizing is a 70% account loss. And
Yeah,
so,
that daily pause that TTP has, and then I actually did like I emailed the CMEG reps and had them set, like they can do. I'm sure Oceans can do the same. I had them
Yeah.
set. I think it was at the time it was like a $200 daily total loss. That if I hit that number, they liquidate my all my active positions. They get me out, and I'm done for the day. I can't trade unless I were to email them and get
Oh.
them to remove it, and that
This was-
saved me a lot. And like I'm not on not on CMEG now for other reasons, but like that was one of the things and that TTP also does is that daily pause, that daily total loss really helps save your account. And when you get on tilt and you like,
Yeah, it sucks.
I have those like
But
I've been in the case that like I give something too much room and then I hit the daily pause and I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize it because I was like, I was trying to give it a little bit more room and I wanted to give it, but then I hit the daily pause and I'm out and I can't do anything about it. And that's kind of frustrating. But the times that happens versus the times as it saves me from myself,
yeah,
definitely worth it.
it's true.
Absolutely, because it creeps up on you. And again, this is like you may start your day like, oh, I'm feeling good. I got the clarity of mind. I'm going to trade well. But as the day progresses, like, dude, like the day just completely F's you up. You top tick 3 things. Like you don't let your winners run. And then you're just slow. Like that's what happened to me. I'm just slowly getting tilted. And now I'm like sizing up on like the worst setups. Hence the pre-market Mirage song that Byron created. And I start seeing things. I'm like, oh, this is a great setup, and it's nothing. There's no volume, So it's there to protect me from myself. I love it. I love having that 250. It's actually helped me, Baron, many times. Again, from myself a few different times. And outside of that, it's like, the equity curve's good. Outside of that, there might be a slip in it, but it's only so much. So yeah, set that. I think it's very important.
MG, I don't watch it. I go away from my laptop and wait for the Max Loss email with pick a Michael.
You see his face
Oh,
pop up on your
no.
phone, and you're like, I know what happened.
God, I mean, it's not cats though. It's some like tatted dude, like right?
I actually
Or do I-
told Kevin was that yesterday, Kevin, that I texted you last night about. Yeah. So yesterday morning, I was actually like, yesterday was not a great day for me, and yesterday morning, in pre-market, I got out of a trade, but apparently I had a sell order placed that I was going to average in, and then I took it off before that, but I never removed that apparently. And so I was like sitting down, I was out, or like I got out, and then I was like going about my day. I was red, but I wasn't at max loss. I was like, whatever, it's not a max loss day. And then like at 7 p.m. last night, I get an email with Michael's face on it saying I hit max loss because that I never removed that, and it shot up against me, and I hit max loss because I forgot to take that sell order off. That was not
dude. Oh no.
I was gutted
rough.
for you.
Threw
when
an
you said
email.
that, dude. I was gutted for you because I did that originally. Like it's awful. That can easily happen. I'm like always looking at my working orders, and I check like 3 times. Like I'll go to the bathroom, and then I'll go downstairs. And I'm like, oh my
Should
god,
I check
an
mine
order
real
out.
quick?
I'm like paranoid that I have a working order out there because I set them me personally. Like for me, not everyone has. Like a lot of people say, hey, use mental stops, whatever. I gotta use hard stops because I'm working like 5 at a time. I don't I can't do all that, that's way above my limitation. So I like to have hard stops. And sometimes like there's working orders there that do not need to be there. Get away. I do not want these working orders. Especially after you take profit, because the thing is with TTP, you take profit, but the working order stays there. That's what happens.
one thing that I think it's probably a habit that I picked up trading with C Pro is that like with the shortcut or like the hotkeys that I was using in C Pro, there's a hotkey for close out my position and cancel all open orders. And so I'm getting out of my position and I'm canceling all my open orders on that ticker, and I don't have anything out there anymore. And it's just a habit that I picked up, and that's so like I won't set those like scaled positions all that frequently. So like when I do, then I forget about them because I don't have that hotkey.
Manuel's asking a question in the chat. He thought TTP liquidates your positions 10 minutes before the market close.
They
They
do.
do, and that sucks. But guess what?
They liquidate your positions, but they do not cancel your orders if you have them out there. That's what happened.
They cancel. Well, do they cancel your orders at 12?
That
At 4?
if they- Let me see what time I texted.
I think they cancel your orders at 4 because what I've done is I've swung some trades into after hours, like some shorts, and then I'll just immediately set my stop at 4 because I think it cancels all my orders. Yeah, it does. I did that today. I can confirm. So at 3:50 you're liquidated, and at 4 o'clock it cancels all your orders. But you can overnight whatever you want, and your leverage cut like 75% or like 80%. So instead of 25K, now you have 4K, but you only have $1,000 account. So if you're in more than 4K, like, you're
So what's
in
the
big.
leverage?
What's that?
It's
25
4-1.
25 times leverage, essentially.
Well, okay. So you get a 25K account during market hours. It's 4-1. So you can use up to 100,000 buying power.
I think
Pre-market and post-market, it's some weird number
Yeah.
that is
Like, have I had too
super
much to drink
small.
here?
like I'll break down the math for you. So throw the whole 25K idea out because like me and Kevin were talking about,
Throw it out.
they want you to oversize so you blow these accounts. So that's why they say 25K, 50K, but Baron, it's a $1,000 account. You pay $120 for a 1K.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
1K max,
All right.
you lose.
I was tracking you, but it was
Okay, I
confusing.
got you. So
Bear,
let's leave it how I thought.
A few
you got
drinks in,
25
it was
times
confusing.
Leverage. You can put a 25K position on that account in market hours and be a degenerate and either make your money or lose it.
Fades knows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know all about it. But yeah, it's like
Oh man.
yeah. So but they cut you off after $500 loss, right?
Yeah.
So you have 2 days to blow $110 or $120. So it's like, but you have to make $1,500, Baron, on that 1K account. Like the math when you explain it like that, it makes more sense, right? So you're paying $120 for a $1,000 account. You have 150% return on that account, and now you're funded. Any money you make 70% of that, and it's going to you.
So one excellent trade can kind of really set you up.
Yeah, I've passed evals
Well,
in the game before. Like,
Yeah.
you can work
They have
it with
some
leverage
rules
and,
for-
like, if you have an edge and you set your levels and you manage your risk, you can. I've had 1,000, 5, 7, 8. So they cap you on the 1K account. You can't make more than $750 in one trade. Big whoop. If you're dialed in, that's not a big deal. You just take.
Well,
your
you
profit.
can, but then there's the best. They have this best trade profit limit rule
You just have
where
to
on
make
a
more
check
money.
account,
Yeah.
you can't make like if you have a $750 trade or a higher than $750 trade, you just have to make that much more to get funded because a one trade can't account for more than 50%. Yeah, it's
I'm gonna be a timeout on this one. I'm a couple deep now.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you,
we're
Baron.
gonna start doing some calculus.
It's
Where's my abacus? All
Or-
right, I want you to explain to me like I have a degree in psychology and not astrophysics. Did you hear the list? by the way?
Baron, like you can put $120 in this account. You can pass it in a week with the way you trade. You dial in, you manage your risk, you can pass it in a week or two.
Depends on the
Now
market.
you're funded. Now you spend $120 and you have a 1K account that you can lose it all and you don't lose a dime. You lose that $100.
That's
You're not paying. You're not losing your own 500 now on a blow up. Your own $1,000. You're losing that $100 in that time you spent on the account. So
Here's what I gotta say real quick about using either CMEG or Oceans is that there is a deeper thing I need to understand about my own psychology as it relates to not just the impulsivity, but like my attachment to money. My belief about loss is so much deeper and more informed by my history growing up as a child where my mother didn't budget money. She wasn't good with money. And so, like in the summer, she was a public school teacher and she didn't budget. And so she wasn't paid in the summer. They used to not pay teachers in the summer. And then, like, cable got cut off because my mother didn't budget. And so, when money was tight, it was like that made me very
that's
much,
embedded. Like
right?
so.
And so when I look at like these opportunities that we have, where it's like you make $50, $100, you scale up, you can make $500 a day. I'm like, that's excellent. And also, the challenge is my own psychology. When I hyperventilate because I'm down $800, there's something happening in me that I can't. So in psychology, there's a therapeutic practice. I don't talk to my clients often about finding the parts of themselves that are trying to protect them. Those parts of themselves are very clearly there for a reason. They grew up with the client. They're there to do something and to protect the client from loss, risk, adverse effects. And while I understand that, the market doesn't care. And
Exactly.
I'm often trying to fight the parts of me that keep me safe. And so understanding my own imbalances, my own psychology, and challenging myself to accept grief and loss, it's been part of the journey with using a fully live account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of deep value in this conversation. I mean, we're dialed in. We're talking with a therapist here, guys. There's a lot to reveal, but I think that's the
For the drink.
beauty of the prop firm, right? Because like
therapy.
it's serious. Like I know exactly. I know what you mean. Like the attachment and like every dollar, like the psychology. If you're red, if you're green, like I always talk about giving gains back, going on tilt. How I know you've done that, Baron. You're up 500, and all of a sudden you're only up 100, 200, and you're pissed. You feel like
When Wednesday, I think it was even Wednesday, I was up like 150, ended the day down 125, and I was tilted.
right. So it's like that. So I know exactly what you're saying, man. And so I think that's why like trade the pool being a prop firm wins because now you're risking like 10% of what you would, right? Like when you break it down, it's about 10% risk of what you would. And obviously that sounds great, but you have to get over the rules and you have to trade on a paper account for a little bit, right? And that's the cons of it. But you can work on that psychology and tailor your strategy. And also, I don't know if you're really looking at your data like very heavily, but with this trade, exactly, yeah, it's like you don't want to look at it. Your ego doesn't want to know that, right? I was the same way, dude. I used to make hundreds of trades from my cell phone with CPro offshore like a day, like up and down, just degeneracy, dude. Paying $400-500 a day in fees, like being up and down $1,000, like crazy stuff, dude. So I've been through it all. Like I know how it goes. The psychology would trade the pool, like, and the data that you're forced to look at is so powerful, brother. And the rules are annoying. The rules are annoying as shit. I hate them. Like they've taken thousands of profit away from me. That's the reality. That's the dark side of it. But guess what? Our risk to reward is so great at Trade the Pool. And we are dialed in on this stream with our strategies and our process. Like there's money to print as long as you manage your risk, right? So you set those stops, you utilize, especially pre and post, utilize those stops, and there's a lot of potential here with what we got going on in our process.
I want to kind of change gears a little bit and ask Barry, like, I don't know, Kevin or FaZe, if you're working like full-time jobs, but Barry, I assume you have your practice, you're out of practice. How do you work around? Because I'm also working full-time. I'm working like a full-time, not 9 to 5, but 9 to 5.
Yeah.
How do you work in trading around your practice and your day job?
Not well. So it's mostly me. So I actually work 3 to 4 jobs, depending on what time of the year, day
wow.
it is. So I'm involved with a counselor education program where I teach future counselors. I have my own private practice, but my main job is working at a counseling center for 40 hours a week. So when my wife was pregnant, I was pulling like 80 hours a week, saving for her maternity through my private practice, through my teaching side gig. And
That's
so,
awesome, dude. I respect the hell out of that.
yeah, so I had disposable income. I got into like, I can use some of this disposable income for retirement. Like, what is investing? So a year ago in September, I was like, what is investing in a Roth IRA? And here I am today sitting with a bunch of degenerates talking about it. What a year.
How can I use this money to build my retirement? I should day trade penny stocks.
Listen, man, I tell my wife, the investor account that she's working with, the private equity group, they grew her account 18% in 3 years. I was like, listen, I'm going to grow my account 10% in a day.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like you can do that with Trade the Pool. You can scale, and like I think that's the thing. If that's the hardest part. Like we make a lot of money, Baron, but if you can stop your max loss, right? Because that's your problem. It's those blow up days, like we talked about. All of a sudden, you're down 300, and then you just get back $700 randomly. You don't even know what happened. It happens, and now you're like, "What the hell? Like I just gave back all these things."
I think we've identified it.
If we can cap that and stick with what we know and what we're doing, like we're gonna be printing money.
Baron, I think we've identified it. You are very self-aware. See, I get deep too when I'm drinking. I can yeah, cheers. I had that was cheers, gentlemen. This is a great night and nothing but success to the green team. Love this. I love this. You're very self-aware. There are things, and I appreciate you sharing your personal history, like growing up, that certainly influences your decision making these days. Similarly, he needs to hear this, so I need him to come back in here.
He just
I'm here, guys.
over it.
I'm just degenerate getting my beer. Yeah.
Fade's walking out. He's done.
Oh man, sorry, Baron. I didn't mean to leave on you, bro. Come back.
This is excellent. I love it. I mean, here he is.
What it's all about, man.
This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. So,
It's all about Chrome crashing.
Hey, I know all about that. If you've been watching stream, I'm like a jester over here.
I will say, like, the one thing for me, like, as far as, growing up, I was taught not to be like a greedy individual, which would have worked against me for BTTC today, for example. There are things you learn, like, in childhood that play against trading. Like, you have to work against those teachings, those emotions that may be good for everyday life. Like, I grew up in a very biblical background, which for me, I live that. I try to. I don't say I'm a hypocrite. I don't live that every day, but yeah, I don't live that right now.
Right.
But as far as
Cheers.
like, cheers.
Here's that.
I'm like, Lord's gonna strike me dead for saying that. Sorry, Lord. As far as like that greed, the greed is something you have to a certain extent in trading. And I know I've mentioned that before, but you have to have it. If you're not a greedy individual, I know the saying is pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. If with your green trades you're not greedy, it's going to work against you. It's going to
100%.
work against you in trading. So there are certain teachings is from just from my own personal background. Like maybe, for example, you sharing the situation with your mom. Like there were times where you didn't have the cable or whatever because she wasn't getting paid. So that's ingrained in you. And
Right.
at that point, you're like, I have this money to pay for cable. Why don't I take it? They're handing me the money. Why don't I take it? But then in the back of your mind, you're like, well, the chart is saying something else. So I
Right.
need to trade the chart, not the money. Trade well and money's the byproduct of
Yeah,
that leading.
I think there's a level of disassociation you have to have when trading that I've slowly started to figure out, where you have to essentially remove the value of the dollar. Like when I first started trading, I'd have a trade and I'd make like $200. I'm like, oh, that's groceries for this week. But then you lose that and you're like, oh, I lost groceries for the week. And you like that mentally is very, very difficult to overcome versus
disassociating. That's so
Yeah.
huge. You're absolutely right on that. Like I've said before, detaching yourself from even the outcome of this trade. Barrett, how would it
if
feel
there
for
was
you?
a
It's
way
like,
that I could in my chart only see ticks instead of dollar amounts, that would I
that's-
feel like that would be so much better. It'd be
Well,
like
and this is where I absolutely struggle both ways. And it's the same concept. It's exactly what we're talking about. And so when I've been going long recently, by the way, I suck at going long. I'll buy the
we all
top.
do.
Come on, back. Come on back where the water's warm, Bubba.
Listen, I blew up my account like 6 times in August. And I was like, holy shit, shorting's not working. I have to start going long. But the difficult thing for me is that it goes up. I think, oh, it's going to break this key level. It's going to shoot up. It doesn't in reverse. And I say, oh, well, I'll average down a little bit and then maybe it'll go up. The averaging down, this could be actually statistically studied. I think averaging up as a short is more beneficial than averaging down as a long when it comes to the low float plays.
Is
Mhm.
Because
on
the low,
these
100%.
on these smaller
Oh, yeah.
cap stocks,
Right?
absolutely.
Yeah, we know where they're going to end up.
but this is your struggle. We have to shine a light on that, Baron. Like, yes,
Right.
you're absolutely right, but you cannot think like that. You gotta think like this one may not work out.
Yeah,
You
like
have
Owen
you
said, that
you
one that blows you up. That one that
you
does.
can't. You're so right, and that's exactly where I am, Baron. Except the next step ahead, which is okay. This one may not work out. That's the next step ahead for you. And that's what's worked well for me with that eval that got funded and here on. It's like you have to trade them with the mindset that this one may not work out and apply the risk to it. Otherwise, you're going to blow up whether today or tomorrow or the next day. It's
Well,
going to happen
Kevin,
because
I saw Bernadette in this chat. Hey, Bernadette, girl, how you doing? I want to say Bernadette and I share the same exact strategy, where I saw her P&L from the trade of the pool. Effectively, she'll have these really great days where all the shitty low float stocks will fade, but
Right.
there'll be that one
That
ticker
outlier day that wipes it.
goes, like she'll make 250, 300. Bernadette, I want to talk too badly against you. I think you are an excellent trader. I trade the exact same way. But we get those days and those tickers, and they go completely against us, and they just never turn around. And
Yeah.
then we're down.
I'm the
Hey,
same way, bro. I get tunneled in those tickers, and that's where the ego comes in. And that's why trade the pool saves you with that max loss. But not along with that though, it's just you can never tunnel, right? You can never be like, oh, this is the low float that's going to pay me today, and I'm just going to sit on this thing. Like I'm going to size it. It's like you can never get to that point. Like that's why I don't know how much you've been watching us, Baron, but the hangover strategy, like relying on that as well, incorporating that along with like the dynamic pump and dumps of the day and the king of the days and stuff, like having multiple things working to where like even like Byron said, like the psychology of like I wish it didn't show my dollar amount in my account, because it's like if you see a couple different trades, but like one or two of them are green, but that one that's going against you, it's easier to cut it when you see another trade in the green, right? Because you're like
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah.
elsewhere, and you're not over leveraged and over risked because you're setting your stops and you're respecting risk management because that's first and foremost, and kind of build there,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's been helping me out too.
Kevin, can
Like,
you
yeah, I got
spotlight
you.
what I just shared? So I want to like based on what you said, like just said, I've done the exact same thing, right? So this is my July, and you can see like I only had 6 red days, and I was pretty consistent. I was aiming for like $50 a day, and I was hitting that pretty consistently. But then early on in the month, even though I'm hitting at $50 days like I was trying to, I blew up Monday, Friday that week in July, and I'm red 300 on the week because those overwhelm, and like that 300 red week undid the following 2 green weeks too. Like it's capping those losses that Kevin and Paige are talking about. It's like capping those losses, and like I struggle too with that. Like most of my losses, it's really tough to walk away from your computer red without hitting
So
max
tough.
loss.
So tough. It's like, how do we crack the code to just not feel that pain and just be like, yeah, the
Let me
max
just
loss,
say this.
respecting it. Like Kevin does great. I admire Kevin so much for that because it's like when I hit max loss on a day and a piglet's pumping and I'm convicted, man, I want to pay that and keep going, man. Are you kidding me? I'm getting my money back.
Right.
Like it's
Byron, let me say you have a deep discipline because you had like I think it was like the second of the month, and you had like a trade, and you had like $1.50 made for. Man, I would have over traded my ass off trying to make more than $1.50. You have the discipline.
oh yeah, I
That
saw
was
that was
yeah.
crazy. Like the $20, he had like $20 of risk in his funded left or something like that, and he grinded back. Is that what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
that was actually this month, or I guess September because we're in October now. But that $1.50 was a red day that started out red.
Oh,
that
you recovered it.
I recovered it, and as soon as I went green, I got out and I walked away.
Oh hell no! I would have traded that till 8 p.m. I would have been shooting for the fences every time.
That
Or
was
didn't-
I think like if I look at that day, I'm curious now what.
Yeah, pull it up. Let's take a look.
That was actually a super small. That was a C Pro day that I didn't have anything left because I'd taken a payout in my. I'd taken a payout and trade the pool, and like Fades, this is actually because I've done this twice. I've taken a payout and trade the pool, and when I've taken these payouts, I leave myself with so little left in the account that it's either like I either blow the account or I grind it back up. And the first time I did it, I got really lucky and I hit that long that I got that like $1,600 on. Like
You flipped long, you hit max loss and flipped long. You're like, screw this.
yeah, but this last time,
yeah, that's hilarious.
yeah. And then this last time I took the payout, and it was after a red day. And I was kind of like about this a week or two ago that like it was I had built up this account, like so I had scaled it, and then I built up this account another $1,800, and then I gave $1,200 of that back within 2 days because I bought through max loss twice, and but then like, I stopped. And I took whatever I had left to pay I took the rest of my money that I could pay myself out with, and now I have a super small funded account again. Like and I have to grind back with what was left. But I've had those blow up days, even like last 2 weeks, where like I had scaled it. I had $1,700. I had another $1,800 on top of that, and then I gave back $1,200 in 2 days.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm.
It happened. Like
It's so painful, and it's like
Yeah.
the max loss. The max loss when you're capped at 250 or 500, that's not that bad, right? Like,
Yeah.
Aaron, you made $400, whatever. It's like,
Today.
Kevin 250. It's like we can make that max loss back in a day, so there's no pain. That feels like maybe not a paper cut, like it's a little jab, it's a punch.
For
But
me,
we're not knocked down.
70%.
We don't hate our lives, right? Like,
Right. For me, I have a very clear it's 70% of my count that I'm okay with losing. Or I'm sorry, not 70%, 30%. And it is one of those things where that's still a holdover from when a trade goes against me $200, $300, and I'm like, wait, I want to give this some time. That's the thing that is up in the air for me, where this is why I started going long again, because I was like, listen, this trade, it wasn't CRML, what was it, SYTA, where I went, instead of going short and waiting for it to come back to my price, I could make all that money going long and then take the money going short. It just didn't make sense to lose that hard. Like, wait a minute, this thing has volume picking up. There's 4 green candles in a row. Why have I not closed my position and went long and capitalized on it?
dude, I feel that on a
size too big.
level.
You size
I
too big.
have this week, last 2 weeks have been tough, and I've done that exact thing many times where I'm sitting in something that I think looks heavy, but it might even drop a bit, and then it starts turning. I'm like, I see exactly what is happening here. This is basing out, volume starting to pick up. It's coming back towards my level. I should exit here and either just take it and walk away from this ticker and find something else, or reverse my shit or do something other than what I'm doing, which is just sitting and watching this go against me.
Yeah.
I've done that many times recently.
And how do you all have so can I actually screen share temporarily for a second?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a button under the screen there. It's got an arrow on the computer. You can screen share there.
So
Yeah,
this is-
dude, I think about that often. Like even the DFLI today, it's like this thing's going to 220. Well, why the hell don't I take the damn long going to 220? It's
Yeah.
Because of all the times you've been burned
This is
taking them
where-
on
Yes.
before.
I
Yeah.
trade, and this is the thing. If we're going to look at something like CRML, right? This thing was really volatile, but there was a moment. I think this moment was, where is it? I want to try to find it real quick.
Is this Ocean's platform? This looks like a video game.
Well,
This
that's
is
how my
bad.
It's
ADHD
like
works.
Space Invader stock edition.
Yeah. So, I'm set up to where I'm looking at a lot of overstimulating information. That's how my brain works. But when we're looking at this, actually messed a lot of people up. So this stock did something crazy.
This
And
was after hours, Baron.
Yeah, this was after hours. Actually, this is
Dude, after hours is so fruitful, but I swear sometimes it can be so painful. That's why I'm so thankful that we have stops now. Like
yeah.
stops
Okay, here we go.
pre and post are so powerful.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cheater this one. This one was devastating, and this is actually gonna talk to market manipulation. If we want to talk about that real quickly. So I see this stock. I'm trading it. I'm sniping it for a few points here or there. I'm not
Yeah, you
very.
can see your entries, I think, on those little
Yeah. So the whites, the blues are my sell orders. The whites are my short orders, or sell. So
Okay.
I'm sorry. So blue short,
Why is the cover?
buy cover. So I'm like getting little pops here, and then I let it go for a little bit. I'm in session. I'm doing my thing. This was the craziest thing, by the way. So here's what I want to share real quick. I would love to get everyone's thoughts on this. So what you'll see here, this was interesting. So nothing happens or changes. This is about 20 minutes of really no volatility on a stock that has some breaking news. And then suddenly it pops up again. But this was interesting. So right here,
Mm-hmm.
this was when I noticed that there were 200,000 shares sitting on the bid.
Sketchy.
Ooh.
200,000 shares. And by the way, not just sitting at a particular number, it was following the bid up and up and up,
Oh wow.
right?
Okay.
Okay, so there was this cushion of 200 to a quarter of a million shares sitting on the bid, following it up, and then the stock shoots from 14 to 15. I buy, I think maybe this was probably 100 shares, because I'm like, oh wow, this thing is peaking, this is rushing.
So you covered and went long there?
No, I was short. This is the blue is the short.
You covered. Or you
So I
shorted?
covered here. So
Okay.
whoever was putting 250,000 shares on the bid, suddenly sold. And this ticker went from $15 to $13 in less than probably
That's
20 seconds.
crazy, dude.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing you have to see about this next one. It went back up to the same price
It reclaimed after that.
immediately. And so this was like I said, this was 10 seconds, this was 10 seconds, and then 10 seconds later, this was when I sold my full position. And so there's crazy market manipulation where I swear to God, like I'm so scared of going long because of this right here.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
Coin knows about this.
Elevators.
Coin knows about this, but yeah, I mean, unpopular opinion. Don't pay too much attention to the level 2. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Spoof. Like sometimes it can be reverse psychology. Like you'll see that big bid. Like I talk about when we're in shorts and like we're really dialed in, I'm looking at the order book. Like if I see a big bid there and it's bearish, I like that because what'll happen, like it's almost like a golden confirmation, right? That big bid will just get wiped. It'll get sold into and wiped.
That or
Long
they cancel it, yeah.
long see it as, oh, there's a big bidder there, but short see that as, oh, there's liquidity here at resistance. It's right.
Yeah,
So
more of
I'm
that when
trying
it's
to
looking bearish
spoof
and there's a big bid there and it comes down to it, more often than not, it's going to shoot down through it. And it
That's
might
what happened.
reclaim. Yes.
It's crazy. So that was at
Manipulation.
1525. 1525. So the bid was following the whole time. It went up to 1525. And then, so this thing was incredible support the entire time. If you look at CRMLs, incredible support, barely cracking the 15 mark. And then it did, and then it disappeared, and then it plummeted. So that's a plummet of basically 2 points. And then it resurged as someone either
And then fades out
sold.
from there because that person's no longer trying to keep it propped up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why shorts win, and that's why it's tricky to get over convicted, right? Because it's like we know eventually the rug is going to get pulled on these pumps, and that's why trade the pool. Like I'm hyped up about this pre and post market.
Trades
stuff.
needs to be like
How
sponsored.
much is
by-
Trades paying you? Trades, I gotta know.
Dude,
How
they're
much are you
paying me
paying?
shit. They owe me money, dude. They've taken so much money from me.
Damn it,
Customer service.
Trades!
Dude, I am not affiliate. I'm not.
This is the most undercover shit
Yeah,
I've ever
I'm being real with you, bro, because I've been through everything.
And that's why
I'm just being
trade the
100%
pool.
honest. Whenever you turn to Fades, he goes, and that's why I would trade the pools.
I swear, bro, it sounds like I'm pitching it. But honestly, dude, I just want the best for you, man, because like I've been through everything. And I know, like, I can imagine what you've been through.
Oh man.
And it's
I-
like,
Symptoms may
Even if you
include
don't stay
depression,
there,
suicidal
you know?
thoughts.
yeah, I'm not selling no bitch. I sound like a salesman. What the hell? What y'all done to me, man?
No, I mean a lot of the benefits that he's talking about with Trade the Pool are things that you can do in other accounts, but the real benefit is kind of what Bernadette was talking about earlier. Is that like you can go to TTP and you can buy a small account and actually have some, like, you've put money into it. You have some skin in the game. It's not just a paper account on Webull or something, which is what I like. Well, I see a lot. And that people like to say like, oh, I've been profitable in a simulator for a long time. Simulators aren't real. That doesn't count. Like, you can be profitable for a long time in a paper account, and then the second you go live, it's gone. You lose it all. The thing about like what you can do with TCP is like you're actually putting money towards it. You're putting some skin in the game and taking your trades, so you have some of the emotions that come with risking your money, even though it's not your money, because like trading live is just so different.
You
Mentally,
just got a payout, right? I mean, you just got like a 1,700 payout, didn't you?
Yeah,
you got a large payout.
Yeah,
I
man, we got
mean,
payouts
so
like
once you're
it's free.
funded, yeah, you're trading your money. But I'm saying like what you can do is you can go to TCP, you can buy a small account, you can test your strategies, you can get your data, find all of that stuff without risking your entire account. You're risking a subset of that. You're risking like the $100 you put in, but that's actually like money that you paid for it. It feels more real than it does.
Trade the profit sellers. Look at Kevin.
Let's do some math, Aaron. Like you're trading.
Oh, let's go.
You're trading on a $1,500 account right now. Right. So, like, how much are you risking per trade? Like, that might be a sore subject. How much of a position size do you usually take? Like, let's put it that way.
Account.
On average,
Yeah.
it varies too much. If I have if the stock is $14 and the bid and spread is 20 cents, I'm not going to take more than 5 shares. If a stock is $1.15, there's no bid or spread difference. Probably not going to trade it, but maybe I'll take 50 as a gamble. If the stock is $4 and the bid and spread is 2 cents, then I'll take 100 shares, see what it does. It's too variable.
That's entirely reasonable. Like like all those seem like entirely reasonable positions. I mean, it's more calculated than I usually have with my entries. Like I'm usually like if I'm starting something that I think might move up again, I'm taking like 100, 150 shares. And then if it's something usually I try to like stick between like the $2 to $10 stocks. If it's over that, then I might size down a little bit. And then if like we had what was the one ESPM or EPSM or something like that today that was quite a bit more pricey, and I sized down a lot. And then if it's like under $1, I might take quite a bit more size. But
yeah, I look at it like dollar amount, not share amount. That's how I like to look at it.
Yeah, that EPS.
How many trades are you taking?
Like hardly any shares, and that thing 10 points. You know, like you don't have to take many shares on these plays, and it's like you say, fade sweat free. But yeah, it's the exit. So the entries sound good, Baron. Maybe it's just the exits, right?
Are you like what would you say your style is, Baron? Are you scalper? Are you swinging these? You know, big picture. Like, you coin it or something, or you kind of just
scalping? If I'm holding more than 10 minutes, I fucked up somewhere.
Yeah. So you're like a hyper. So you're making like 50 20,
Wait.
50, 100 trades a day.
So how quick are these showers in the morning? 10 minutes.
Listen,
You're like in and out of that shower.
Not quick, Kevin. The phone's in the shower with me.
He's got that
I know
light.
that.
that
Hey,
light
ask
to
my
his
girl
face.
about that. She knows all about that. I've been standing there in the shower.
It's propped up in the corner. And I'm like looking at the
Oh
chairs.
my god. That's a good idea. Have a waterproof like tablet mounted to the wall in your shower. I like it.
It's not even
That's
waterproof.
optimal. That's optimal.
Yeah. So man, you were killing it doing that though. Like leaving so less than 10 minutes. That's too quick though. I think you gotta start leaving some leftovers, right? Like get your average duration up a bit because you're taking the 10% side of most of these trades. And a lot of them are working out throughout the day, right? So you got to start leaving a position on. You don't leave leftovers, do you?
That's my biggest hurdle right now. And so, two things for me. No one wants to hear about a trader who's only been trading for a year. But the biggest challenge I have is if I had left, let's say I traded CRML, SOPA, BCC, or BTTC, a bunch of the top gainers from the day. I just held on to those positions. 50 shares. Typically, my short locate will give me 200 shares. If I held on to the max position at the max high, I'd be up several $100s on one position every day. Every day. I usually take profit and I look for the next gainer that's gaining momentum. This is the biggest challenge where even if I go long, if it's going up, I'm quick to take profit before it's at its peak. There's a interesting part of the psychology that we've been talking about where it's like, I gotta secure the profit.
Yeah, you're like burned from all the losses. Like I guess like the psychology of like, man, I've taken all these losses. I need to take a little bit of profit. That's why like the power of scaling. Like I love that. Just like taking a little bit off, like adjusting your stop, reassessing, like to kind of fix that urge of like securing some, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, I took a third off. Like I took some off, or like let me take half off. And then that's where it really becomes just like, experience in the market depending on the situation, right?
Rose's
That was a
going in heat
loud
right now.
cat.
Jeez.
Woo! It's time to eat.
Yeah, late dinner, I guess.
I completely agree, Fades. Like leaving a partial on, it's been such a key.
Yeah,
like,
today was like a great exhibit A, right? BTTC. Like that thing, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like I preached. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just don't.
You gotta
Keep working it. Just adjust your stuff down and keep with it until it proves.
Because that's my problem, Baron. It's always been my problem. Like take the profits too early, and just what Fade said is exactly what's helped me out. Take half off, take a third off, and then forget about the rest. Just forget it. Like set the stop and move on. And like BTTC did today, it faded 10 points. And even with 10 shares there, $100, $100, 10 shares.
Craziest thing. So when I joined you on the live early in the morning, I bought the share price on BTTC to short was insane. I only bought 50 shares. I didn't even use them. But in the after hours, around like 5 o'clock, BTTC soared. It went from $9 to share to 15, and that's where I took my first trade. Literally, I bought this. I bought it around 9 or 10. I didn't even take a trade until I want to say 5:30, 5:35. But still, that's the same problem where I just could not hold. If I just held my shares, even 50 shares holding, I actually bought the top 1450. Even holding 50 shares at 1450 down to 1125 would have been $200 in profit.
What was your exit?
It it was like 1350.
I would say like so. Kevin and FaZe like to leave stuff on, but I'm not that way. Like I don't tend to leave a lot of hangovers ever. I'm kind of similar. Like I took BTTC today. Where
You just go heavier and take it off quicker. Is that what it is?
I took 50 shares. I made $45 on it earlier today, and that's it.
Huh?
And like I took it off. I got in at 1850. I took it off $1 later, almost. And then
I get that. I get that.
like on EPSM, I took 100 shares at 32.50, and I made $335 off of it. And then at 29, and it faded to like 22. But I took my piece, and I don't want to overstay my welcome. I don't want to overtrade because I've been burned by overtrading
Yeah.
so frequently.
Too greedy, like sticking with it and it
Yep.
refines.
Or I've tried the taking some off and leaving it to work, and then I've been burned by it turning against me. So what I tend to do is I have a profit target in mind when I go into the trade, and I'm gonna follow that down. And as it's getting closer, I'm watching the price action. And if I start feeling it turn against me, I take it off, and I'm fine if it keeps going. If it fades, I've taken my profits. I'm fine today. I'm up $1,000 in my eval today, doing exactly that. Like I'm.
So let me ask,
Good work, dude.
is that a
Right.
fault in our own psychology? Let's say we get into a trade, we set our stop loss 5 cents below our entry. That's it. That's it. We don't touch it. We don't change it. We don't.
Wait, below or above? You're long. You're talking long.
No, I'm talking.
We don't speak that language here.
So I'm saying like you're short. You're short. Like let's say 550. Your stop is 545, and you will not touch it.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to. I mean, I don't ever set stops that tight. I will give it like, especially going short with these small caps, you get wicked out of those so frequently.
Yeah.
If you
Wait,
set,
wait. I'm talking. Wait. To be clear, I'm talking. The stock has dropped. You're 20, 50, 80 cents in the green, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to touch it. You're absolutely not going to touch it unless it's a
Breaks out.
broken break even.
see, I would still take it off. Like if it's dropped 80 cents, I'm taking that off. If I'm 80 cents in the green, I'm taking it.
It depends on the situation, right? But not like every.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a $30 stock and I'm green 80 cents, I've probably only taken like 20 something shares, and I'm probably not going to take it off at 80 cents, right? Like, of course. So it's definitely dependent. Like if it's a $4 stock and it goes to 320, yeah, I'm taking that, and I'm not going to let it climb back up against me. I've done that where I've set it there and I've tried to forget it, or I'll set a trailing stop. I've been burned by trailing stops.
Yeah, they can be tricky.
My whole thing is I'm going to take my piece, and I'm going to get out, and I'm not going to overtrade. I'm going to move on, and maybe it'll provide another entry. If I take that 80 cents at 320, and then it starts to curl back up and it goes back to like 360, I might enter back at 360, risking that $4 level, and see if I can get more out of it. But I'm not going to let it come back up, or like I'm not going to be still in it, watch it come back up to 360, and hope that it goes back down, right? That's just how I work. Like I know, like Kevin and FaZe would just sit there and let it come back up, and let it go back down. But I've gotten burned by those that end up reversing. That like I'll get like even something smaller, like 20, 30 cents, and then I don't take it off, and it comes right back up, and I take a loss on it because I held it too long.
Probably that same dollar threshold almost as your paper cut, right? It's like once you're maybe up like your paper cut amount or a little bit more, like you have to take some, right? Like mandatory take some off and bring those stops down. I guess it's the same thing, like figure out your threshold, right? With your risk level to your
Mhm.
profit level. Like once I see $100 green or once I see 200 green, I'm gonna take some off religiously, or I'm gonna bring my stop to half profit or break even. You know, it's like kind of figure out some kind of system to where you're not getting too greedy, right? Where
Yeah.
but
I mean, everybody trades differently, so you have to find something that works for you. And like Kevin and Fades might be more comfortable sitting in something for longer period of time. Like I've had trades that I'm in 30, 40 seconds. I see something that looks heavy, I enter,
yeah,
it plummets immediately. I get 50 cents and I'm out in 30
yeah,
seconds.
yeah. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just different strokes for different folks. Yeah, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like you said, and you guys are both like a little bit newer traders, so that makes a lot more sense. Less convicted, less time knowing these tickers and how they play. So get your money while it's there and keep it pushing. And that can be just as profitable as sitting there hanging around, depending on the day, right? Like it just depends. Like
Yeah. I
it
will
might
say like
not, but it's like the what is
there's
that bird in one hand, bush in the I don't know. How to say it. You know what I'm talking about.
so I'll say like looking at my last two days, like the difference between today where I'm up $1,000 in my eval just today and yesterday where I ended up hitting max loss. Yesterday I had similar trades. Yesterday I had a $228 win on BQ, but I
Mhm.
took a $355 loss on CIGL. And today I only had two losers for a max of $70. Like capping the like going like full circle here, capping those losses is what turned today into $1,000 day, and yesterday was a minus $600 day. Because
Mm.
even like I'm taking like I have similar wins, my losses yesterday because I went on tilt were so much bigger.
Yeah. Did you continue to trade like
Yep.
after you usually do? Did like lunch
Nope.
hour chop?
Yeah, yesterday.
What happened?
I tend to I still tend to do mostly pre-market, but today, the last couple of weeks have been tough for me to figure out how to trade two accounts between my funded and my eval, and taking
Mhm.
things in different accounts. So
Adjusting
what
the
happened
rules.
yesterday was I took a loss in my funded. And then I immediately went over to my eval and I took basically the same trade as a revenge trade. And then I took a even bigger loss in my eval because
Okay.
I was tilted. Where today, what I did was I traded my funded only in pre-market. And then once it hit market hours, I swapped to the eval. So I'm focusing one account at a time instead of trying to do both.
I like
But
that.
I think like yesterday, it was, I think, yeah, yesterday at like before 10 o'clock, I'm up nearly $300. And then I start just taking trades because like I'm not taking the A plus setups. I'm just trading to trade because I took a big loss in one of the accounts. Then I go to the other and I'm like, now I'm mad and I'm just wanting to get into something, whether it's a good setup or not. And so like but the difference is still like, yeah, capping those losses where you have a set like amount that you're willing to risk in a trade, like I did today, versus yesterday, where I had similar size wins, but I took way outsized losses, and like yesterday could have been a $300 day, or even like if I count all my wins yesterday, it could have been $500-600 day, but it ended up negative $600 because I couldn't stop myself from taking those big losses.
I appreciate that transparency. I mean, it's really something I love about this team. I mean, we show that transparency because I see so much of like everyone out there, the gurus, is like, oh, I made this. These are my greatest trades of the day, and I'm always curious, what's the risk? You know, I see them size, scale, or and I want to know what is your risk in this trade, because that is ultimately what's going to keep you here, the longevity is the risk side of things. I mean, we all can see setups. We've seen them time and time again. The BTTC today was high conviction. We've seen these things work out like time and time again, fading all throughout the day. And that's why we leave leftovers. Byron, I think, is good that you've found an edge, and you're like, even if you're not leaving leftovers, you found something that works for you and it's clearly working. You're doing very good at it. And as long as you just cap those losing days, like you're fine, because certainly you have an edge in what you're doing. But it always comes down to those losing days. How are we losing? Are we a good loser? Or are we a bad loser? I mean, that's always what it comes down to. Everybody can read charts. Everybody can see patterns. Everyone develops that edge. But if you just cannot egotistically take the stop, like, it's going to have profound implications on the account in a negative way. So, yeah, I appreciate this channel for, I mean, you guys, everybody in here with the transparency. It's key. Something I've really wanted to focus on with the channel is saying, look, I'm transparent here. We've been doing this for a while, but there are problems. I mean, there are, like, I have a tendency, I can go on tilt. You're never making it. You're always making it. There's just things that you're always having to work on. And so I
Yeah.
want it to be realistic for everybody out there. And I think we've done a good job. You know, like, we've done good. We've shown the problems and the adversities, yet we've been growing these accounts. We've been growing them well, even in that adversity. So I'm very satisfied about that. But let us know, guys, what you think in the comments. This has been a great stream. Any questions you have, we'll certainly address them.
Yeah. Talking a little bit in the comments. Yeah, that's all good stuff. I mean, I love the transparency. Like, that's how we grow, right? Because a lot of the industry is like sugar coated and cherry picked, you know.
Yeah.
But like, we are just raw and authentic. Like, we're, just straight shooters, and that's what I love about it, man.
I could tell this morning, like, I could tell you were saying, "You freaking idiot!" Like, you were thinking that about me. It's like, why did you take that off early? EPSM or whatever. I can tell. You ain't gotta say that.
Yeah, and that's
You
what
effing
that's how we
idiot.
grow, man. Like, we hold each other accountable because you just tunnel so much as a trader. It's so lonely. You don't have anyone to talk to. No one gets you. Your family, your spouse, like, no one understands, bro. So, like, for us to get
Yeah.
together and just be real and be authentic, there's so much value. Like, there's just endless value with it, really.
Degenerate James.
Again, it's so hard to feel. So not that you want to feel convicted, but you want to feel right, that you're moving in the right direction, that you're interpreting the charts, the flow, the volume. You're like in the right direction. It's so hard to be sure of that, and so I'll say, even as a beginner trader, and that's what I consider myself. It's so hard to be like, okay, I have conviction in that I can make 10 to 20 cents in this move, but then what affirms that? The stock can do anything crazy. So I showed the stock, I think it was, I forget, CL, whatever. The stock can do anything.
It can do anything. It can do anything. That's what risk says.
We get right.
Risk says more things can happen than will happen. It always says that. That's what trading is. It's risk. Risk, anything can happen. More things can happen than will happen. Degenerate James. So, but it's like, I hope you've seen Baron, like, nothing has really passed by the green team. I mean, seriously, we've pretty much seen it all. I mean, QMMM was definitely surprising. That move 8 to 300, but we've seen pretty much everything in here.
We look at charts. Is that thing still at 100? What's going on, man?
It's T12.
Perfect.
It's
Oh yeah, that's crazy, bro. God.
Perfect fall. Saying fade, smacking that sell button into that plastic. So, Faith, I want to ask you about that. So,
Yeah.
if I hit the button, let's say we're halted down, I hit the button, I'm in a particular order, the bots are smashing the halt down. You're doing a market order, are you getting filled? Like, if you hit like 6 or 7 times,
Yeah, it's
are
instant.
you getting filled?
Oh yeah, I'm filled. Like, it's all legit. Like, Trade the Pool is very clean. Like, no paying for fee. Here I go pitching this pitching again.
No, man.
But
Like,
bro,
where's the Discord? How can I
no,
sign
but
up?
listen, it's not all perfect. The spreads are horrible. You're trading with
Spreads
Dash.
are rough.
You're trading with Dash Trader. You're getting dialed in spreads. You
Your
go to the
executions are
pool, you're
probably
like,
also
what
much
is
faster.
this? Like you have to change your whole strategy
Oh,
around
man,
the
I've
spread.
had to learn C plus just to be able to trade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the spreads are really painful with TTP, which it's like I'm always a bright side type of guy.
There was I
Find
think it
the
was BQ yesterday before it like really took off. It was like $1.80 spreads. It was nuts. Like, it was nearly $2
right,
a share
like over
spread.
$1. Yeah, like 34, 35 bid ask. On Dash, you got like 34.46 and like 34.6, something like that. That's Dash. But on TTP, you got like a 34 and a 35. So
Right.
that's honestly like when we're just being 100% authentic, that's probably the biggest downside of TTP. Call it for what it is, the spreads.
Yeah, I've gotten burned on that so many times where I go to enter something that's I don't pay attention. Like Kevin doesn't like to look at the level 2, but I've gotten burned by not looking at the level 2 and seeing the spreads and entering something that I feel like is looking like sleepy, that's looking kind of heavy. There's not a whole lot of volume here, but I don't pay attention to the spreads. It's like 30 cents, and suddenly I enter this trade and I'm already down 30 cents before I've even started. And that's burned me a lot. And then I'm like, oh, I enter this trade and suddenly I'm down like $300 or like $300. I'm like,
Well,
what just happened?
I don't look at the orders really. Like if there's a big order, bid or ask, it doesn't bother me. I don't care about that because people spoof orders. What I do look at, like for TTP, I do look at like at the spread though, because if I'm smacking this on a market order, I'm gonna get a hella fill if I smack the bid. So yeah, I am clearly aware.
Well,
Of
if you're
that.
in pre-market, like I know you trade mostly market hours, but like pre-market, post-market, or pre-market and post, you don't have market orders. Like you have to trade, like you're just trading on the bid and
But-
ask.
So the
And-
hangovers, the market hours. Once we open up, I like the hangovers. Sometimes you just have to smack the market sometimes, and so if the bid and ask are tight enough, I will smack. But that's what you have to do sometimes with the hangovers because there's no buyers. That's the problem with the hangovers. There's just no buyers, so you're not going to get taken out on the ask.
Yeah, that's and it's also tricky because price has to come to you, Baron. So I'm not over here like screaming and shouting. Like there are cons, right? Like being realistic. Like it's not some magical fairy tale, right? Come to trade the pool and make thousands and risk nothing. Like it's not that great. Like price has to come to you when you get filled and the spreads are wide and you have a bunch of rules to maneuver. So yeah, we're not selling some fairy tale. Like it's going
I
to
would say
take discipline,
that
but the potential is there.
I would say that Trade the Pool is the worst broker that you can use, except that you can use someone else's money to do it.
Exactly. And that's the golden
the
thing.
difference.
That's everything, right?
It's
When you're
worse
risking
than pretty
10%
much
of what
everything
you
else
risk.
out there. The charts are terrible. The spreads are awful. The rules are strict. That sometimes feel like they're against you. Sometimes feel like they're helping you. Like it's the worst broker you can possibly use, except it's the only one out there that you can use to someone else's money to trade equities.
Yeah.
Like
and
it's the only.
Mhm. It's awesome. It
That's the
really is.
difference.
And that's the thing. And that's huge. And it's not all bad, right? It's not all bad. Like there's a lot of pros to it. But there's rules and there's workarounds. So it's not you don't have all the freedom that you would have. But if you're only putting 10% of the skin in the game, Baron, 10% of the skin.
I'm
make-
curious, Baron, how much have you spent in wire fees? Because that's the thing that annoyed me the most about CMAG is having to wire my money and paying those wire fees.
I will answer this question briefly. I want to pass it to Kevin. So with Oceans, you have something called ARCA LOL. So it's ARAA Arca. ARCAALOL. And it's a algorithm that will place your order. So if you're on the bid side and you want to be covered, it will, once you're hit, it'll cover you. If you're on the sell side or the ask side, um, it's great in that way too. Is this algorithm that will pay you for both sides of a short order if you're smart about it. So this algorithm on Oceans will pay you, and you'll have no ECN fees.
I guess I meant more like just to fund the account and to wire money into the account. Were you having to like pay those wiring fees to get money into your account to start with? Because I paid like for CMAG, it was like it's like a percentage that I was being charged just to get money into my account, and that was super frustrating. Like I think I spent as much in wiring fees to get money into my account as I could pay for another eval.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's similar. I'm trying to remember if it's 75 per banking route. I think it might be the same thing, but I think you will pay less if you're paying with crypto. So
Interesting.
I
CMAC
well,
was
I think like I mean, not to get too deep, Baron, but to look at like trade the pool, I guess look at it like, with Oceans, like are you profitable, right? Or are you pouring money into this? Like you don't have to answer that. I don't want to know the question.
I'm not
Just
profitable
to
because of
consider.
psychology. Well, Faith, my question for you is, God damn it, how much is Trade the Pool paying you?
They're not paying me.
How much?
They need to be. They need
Show
to
me
be.
your bank account.
They owe me. They owe me. They owe me every payout I'm about to collect over the next year as we stream on Green Team.
I'm supposed to be
Fucking
the
real.
affiliate for Trade the Bull. I ain't got to do any work tonight.
But this is all just genuine, bro. Like I just care about the community, man. I want the best for you, bro. I have endless stories to tell about my trauma with trading and ups and downs. Like I have stories for years, bro. Like,
Yeah.
but I just want you to be successful,
Oh,
and I want you to be a part of, and I think that Trade the Pool could benefit you. Like we all three of us have swallowed our pride, left CMAG. Like we still have accounts, but we're actively trading with Trade the Pool because it's like you made $400 today. You could get funded in a week, and now if you blow that account, you're not losing that $1,000, $1,500. You're losing $100.
It's fair.
I think that it could benefit you, but I gotta stop. I sound like I'm really selling this thing, and I'm not an affiliate at all. So it's just, yeah, man.
There was a question for Kevin, and I think I lost it a little bit in the chat here. But
Do I look at the float? Yeah, Degenerate James was asking that. Do I look at the float? And
You don't
Uzo
trade-
trades.
Kevin, you don't typically want to trade low floats, but I've seen you trade low floats.
Okay, it's a good question. And Uzo trades. Yeah, I mean, for the live streams I do with them, I get a kickback, but so Tuesday and Thursdays I stream with them and get a kickback. As far as the low floats go, I'm gonna size down, Baron. I think that's important. It's something I've been working on lately for my own trading. I get convicted with the high.
Guys down, we're talking what 300 million, 30 million, 3 million, or 300,000.
So we're talking less than 10 million. For example, DFLI today was 30 million. I would have been sizing up on that. CI.
That's your crush, DFLI.
That fucking pisses
I hear
me
you
off.
talk about that thing all day.
220, that thing hit. And then, yeah, DFLI. I'm gonna have nightmares about that tonight. And then,
Oh man, I love it.
CIGL today was actually a good hangover, but I would have sized down on CIGL. I referenced that to James. CIGL was like a few million. That thing was tiny, but it was
Yeah.
a hangover. I would have sized down on that thing just because the nature of it, and it was slow, which I'm fine with. But again, that thing faded 40-50 cents. I'll take it. That was yesterday's big play, CIGL. Yeah, the low float plays like for example, EPSM. What was the float on that today? 2.64 million. 2.64 million EPSM. Dude, I took no shares there and still made $50.
Mhm.
I took no shares there. I was literally in like 5 or 10 or something. It was just nothing because it was sweat free. Like I hit the 35 resistance. I'm getting in with those kind of plays, I want to give them points. I don't want to give them pennies. So when I'm in them, like I know the nature of them and that they can move points on me, and I want to give them a little room. And I think that's why with the eval and with my funded right now, I just looked at the funded. Like my win percentage is 58%, and my risk reward's about 1-to-1, which got me funded, and it's working out so far on the funded as well. It's not. I'd like to work on it, but it's working so far. But yeah, the lower floats I am going to size a little bit down on, and the hangovers are what I'm going to size. Those I'm going to size up on. Like even regardless of the CIGL, the low float there, I'm going to probably on that one. I'm 100 shares or less on the day on CIGL just because the Warriors could squeeze that thing up, and I want to make sure I'm.
I'll
Yeah.
say I do look at the float before I enter, but and I don't usually adjust my size for it, but it's going to for the lower the float, the less room I'm going to give it, because if it's moving up with strength and it's like 700K float, I know that this thing has the potential to go
Yikes.
really
Yeah.
far against me. So I'm going to have a much tighter leash on cutting that one off versus one that's, if it's going strong and it's got 200 million, then I might be a little bit more convicted that this one's going to give it back more quickly. So I don't think, for me at least, I don't adjust my share size typically, and it's not going to be the determining factor of whether I enter or not, but it's going to determine the leash I give it when I do enter.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
I like the leash in that I need to have a leash on some of my plays where I'm just like, you know what? $25 on a let's say
Yeah.
low float
Getting
is
kinky.
more than I want to risk.
Hmm. Yeah, and also like knowing the news, like the fundamentals play a little bit in part. So I know it might be a sore subject, Baron, but CRML. Did you read, like, was there
Oh
news?
no! I saw that motherfucker squeezing up. I was like, I can get in this.
Well, unfortunately, Trump was dropped in that news, and that's probably why he got squeezed out.
Trump,
Well,
crypto.
I
Back
will say,
to fundies a little bit, right? Like,
I was top ticking. I was grabbing the top of it. I made about $90 profit on that one. So
Which one?
Huh?
Which one?
on top of that,
CRML.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was a
Yep.
nightmare for you. I thought you had a bad trade on it. Okay.
I mean, I took I don't know.
You were down 800 but made 90. That's
But
what
you
you're
came back.
saying.
You're overnighting it. You're overnighting it for Monday. We're hoping.
Listen, okay, so if we have some time, we should talk about like day trading addiction, because I swear to God, I was like, my daily profit goal every single day is $300. I can do $300. I'm golden. That's wonderful. Stop trading. This motherfucker hopped up from $8 all the way up to 11. And I said, wait a minute. I can't. It's 7 p.m. I can't hop into this.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? What did I see? Shorts, easy to borrow. I can get as many shorts as I want. I hop into this. I immediately go red, by the way. But I buy enough shorts that it reverses, it comes back, and it's my third most profitable ticker of the day. It's insane. And this was the one I was talking about earlier where there was some manipulation, but like this I mean, this is where the addiction part comes in because I said I made $300 a day. That's my goal. Stop trading. Traded this one again. Made daily goal plus $400. It's hard
Dude,
to do.
again, I'm like on the same page there, except like I have a problem where like if I have even if I like if it's like in the morning and I just have a chart open, I feel like I need to be in a trade. And so like I will it doesn't
Yep.
matter, like I'm just like this week has been especially rough because pre-market the last like 3 days has been extremely slow. And there's been like nothing moving. And so like there are no good setups out there, but I feel like I need to be in a trade. So I will enter something that is not a good setup and just sit there and watch it do nothing. But then like if I have a really bad day or even like a day where like I hit my daily goal and then I gave a little bit of it back, like you were talking about. And then I'm like, I could have been up 500, but now I'm only up 300.
Right.
Instead of stopping and taking the 300, I'm like, I want to get that $200 back. And then that's when I start over trading.
Bingo, bingo. That's
So hard.
a big thing, guys.
Yeah.
We have like stopping at a max loss and stopping at a give back profit. Seriously though, if we could just stick to that, right? If we could drop our egos. Okay, we got hit max loss. We're done for the day. Tomorrow is a new day. The warrior trading theme. Live to trade another day, right? It's true. He got that right. He got that part right. We got to live to trade another day,
You
right?
got that part right.
And then the psychology, green tilt. You can get tilted on green. I'm up 500. Wait, I'm only up 250 now. I'm tilted. No,
You know,
eyes down. Like once you get to a certain point, realize like that's when it just comes with awareness and time in the market, though, and it's a lot easier to say than do, right?
some of my biggest red days all time were days that I was green pre-market.
Mhm.
And then it was like back in June. Yeah, I was
100%.
green pre-market. And then I went into market hours and I
Ups
tried to
in
push the
market.
gas a little bit.
Yep.
And then I took my biggest losses ever because I wasn't comfortable or I wasn't okay. It was like just walking away.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, it was probably around the bell.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was like June. I don't remember, but it
Yeah.
probably was. Or like there was some trade. I think it was actually. I think I know the ticker. I think it was CWD. It was one of those crypto plays that in the morning I got and it faded back, and then I think I entered right before the bell. I think you're right. I entered right before the bell, thinking it was going to drop, and then it just goes against me. And it's like I have those where I'm just like I had like Baron was talking about like that trading addiction where like I always like want to be in a trade, and you have to just be comfortable walking away, and that's a hard thing. Even like walking away before hitting max loss, like we've talked about, but walking away green is just as tough sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good points. It's a great conversation to have, Dr. B. The psychology is everything. Psychology has to be stronger than the emotions. Like when you realize the tilt's taken over, are you going to dig yourself further in a hole, or are you going to step away? Realizing like I'm not seeing my setup, so there is so much there. I mean, we could dive so deep there, but it takes a long time to discover like your edge and like your gut combined experience. What are the good trades? Are you seeing the A+ setups? Are you taking them still even when you're red? Sure, yeah, take them, but it
There's a lot of moving pieces.
there's so many moving pieces. It's insane. It's absolutely insane
It
how many
really
moving pieces
is like each day the theme. Like, it is, man. It really is. It's trading is not something you can master in a weekend. Let me tell you that right now. Some people it takes their whole 5, 10, 20, 30 years. So a lot of people
Jesus.
throw in the towel. But we're here for all of it, guys, and I love this. I love being a part of this. This is awesome, guys.
I think like a big like people always like to talk about the percentage of people that don't make it as day traders being extremely high, and it is. Don't get me wrong. And I think this is where
Is it based on the science?
what's that?
It's
So-
not based on the science. So, as a psychologist, I'm trained to interpret articles. Most of the articles on day trading are outdated and outmoded, and their scientific rigor is very poor. In modern terms, in modern dialect, in modern standards, it wouldn't be the same thing. There hasn't been a standard published
Yeah,
in day.
I mean, I'm sure it's not nearly as high as the numbers that they typically throw out there, like 95% of day trader or whatever the number that they're talking about. I'm sure it's not that high.
Yeah.
I do think it's probably high, and a large part of that is, and I think this is where TTP does come in a little bit, is that
Oh my God! Who are the shills? Goddamn, Kevin!
I know.
What are you selling? How
No.
much are you getting? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think a large part of it is that most of the people blow their accounts one time and they can't afford to fund it again. They can't afford to keep reloading. Baron's emptying his bottle. And
Dude, that Weller Special Reserve is pretty nice. Oh.
Ryan, continue.
yeah, well, I think that a lot of like the reasons that people are part of this statistic that fail, and a part of the high percentage that don't make it as a day trader, show up, can't afford where you have a lot of people when they first get into day trading, they're not getting into futures or forex, right? They're not finding these prop firms to begin with, where they would only be risking the amount that it took to or the amount that it cost to buy the futures eval on Apex Trader or Top Step or whatever. I think TTP being the only one, like a lot of people when they get into day trading, they want to trade stocks. They don't want to trade futures.
Right?
Like I think that like
It's for losers.
I wish that there was more options than TTP. I really do.
Yeah.
There are a lot of options out there for futures and forex and crypto and all of these other instruments that you can trade, where you can actually do this and try and fail. Like a big part of day trading is learning how to fail correctly.
Yeah.
You can't do that when you keep blowing your account and can't afford to reload it.
Your own capital, right? Mm-hmm.
I'm certain there's going to be competition out there, certainly in the future, especially with the PDT lowering, and there's going to be a lot of competition out
We're gonna say
there.
Baron.
But Baron, there was a stat I saw from some CEO. I mentioned it earlier. 12% of people make the eval. This was futures, I believe. This was a futures because there's hardly any equities firms, but the futures 12% pass, and then if you pass the eval, 22% actually get a payout, and then 1% get funded. So it's very small. And music in the market, I know you just said with Trade the Pool, what was it, less than 1%? Would you say? Yeah, music. Bernadette mentioned in chat it was like less than even like 1 or 2% actually make it to the funded stage, and so I believe it. I mean, there's so much degeneracy out there. People don't take it serious. Only 5. She said only 5% pass the evaluation. So we are the 5%ers.
Right.
I believe it. This
One
is
of
the
the
green team.
original studies that was conducted in the 90s based on the Korean model of day trading, and effectively, there was no form of gambling in South Korea, and so they were treating day trading like gambling. So effectively, you could say like, all right, well, what's the average or odds of becoming a successful day trader is the same as being a gambler. Well, wait a minute. when Fates looks at his charts, he looks at the volume, he looks at the EMAs, he looks at everything in there. You would not say Fates is a gambler, but that a study from like 1998. It was a meta-analysis. A meta-analysis means a pooled study of multiple studies. And so when you see this and you say, well, most the day traders fail. Well, wait. That was from South Korea where gambling was outlawed. They were using it as a technique to fulfill an urge. And so this is one of those very rare instances where you say, wait. The statistic is this, but we have to do a deep dive.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's a tough journey, man. It's a tough journey. I definitely agree with you that there is edge. I mean, I look at the stats here. I know Fades is profitable over time. Byron's been profitable, and looking at my stats with that, it's like I know the expectancy. What is the actual expectancy? What's the positive EV? And again, I enjoy playing blackjack, even though I have a negative EV at the casino. I enjoy playing it, but I know there's a negative EV over time. But I know with trading what my positive EV is. Every time I put on a trade, I'm expected to make whatever, however many dollars.
Yeah.
I know it's positive because we've seen these. I mean, we've studied these, dude. Like I've dedicated my life to this. This is my life. I hope you guys are learning something out there. Like this is pretty much my
Me and
life.
Kevin, we're all in, guys.
I mean, I've dedicated my life to this.
We're gonna be 7 years old doing the same stream, guys.
This is it for me. I mean, I hope it lives on beyond me because the teachings here, because I've dedicated so much to this over however many years, 2016 till now, and I know there's a positive expectancy there. I know there's issues that I like. I know I have struggles like however many people have, but there can be a profitable edge. I know with absolute certainty there can be a profitable edge. I know it. I've been doing this for a long time. I know there can be. I know I can have it as long as you stay disciplined and you approach the market every single day with that clarity of mind, with the risk management in place, with the consistency to compound it. And when you see your edge, and we've seen it thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of hours, you know when the setup is developing and when there's positive EV, you involve yourself in the risk. That is what it is. So, I mean, one of these days, Fades, I'm going to croak. I hope the message lives on.
Well, listen, I know we got CoinFox. He's hopping in here, but I want to ask you, Kevin, what builds and keeps your consistency and builds your edge?
Max loss, respect it. I answer that for him.
Yeah, this is for Kevin.
Respecting his max loss. That's it. That's it. Because listen,
You look weirdly like Fades right now. This is weird.
me, Baron, all admitted that we have those blow up days, right? Where we lose like way too much. Kevin doesn't. Because why? Because he stops out at 250 max loss.
I promise you, I'm not.
And that's the
I
answer.
promise. I'm hesitant to say this, but I
It's that
promise
simple.
you.
Live the
I
trade.
promise you, I'm not blowing up this funded account. So
It's really that simple, man. Like,
I'm
it's
so disciplined with the losses, and I think that's key. You like I know the edge, but it doesn't work out all the time. Like it's almost like Baron, you have to the setups via the experience that you're going to develop over time, but then additionally that regardless of knowing the setups that work a higher consistency over time, that they may not work out this time. And you don't trade that crystal ball. So many newer traders, like a few years and under, probably, if I had to guess, they want to find the magic crystal ball, and it doesn't exist. It does not exist. I repeat, it does not exist. The magic crystal ball does not exist. There are setups that have a high EV, but the magic crystal ball does not exist. And your desire to find that magic crystal ball is what's going to completely F up your trading journey. It's
Yeah.
going to completely F it up. Like, oh, I trade them this and that, MACD, RSI, Fibonacci, this and that. It's going to F you up if you're trying to find that magic crystal ball. Don't find that. Trade the edge, and that's going to take experience. That's your best teacher. Trade the edge, and stick to the risk. Stick to the risk, and don't think on singular trades. That's my Baron. You're a good trader. I can see you having a successful future here. The only thing I have to say to you is, don't focus on singular trades. That's it. Don't focus on singular trades. You're good. I know you're good. I know you're going to have a good future, but just avoid thinking on singular trades. That's all.
All right. On that note, I gotta head out, guys. You can bring Coin in here. I think Coin, we can
Thank
hear
you,
you.
Byron.
Just gotta bring you into the chat, but I'm gonna head out.
Fun as always,
Might
brother.
go.
Have
Bye.
a good
I'll
evening,
see you
man.
Monday.
Monday.
Good.
Also,
Bye.
everyone that's in the chat, join the Discord. I just popped the
Discord
link in there.
Popping off. Making
Yep.
moves.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Byron. Appreciate
Cheers,
you.
brother.
See you guys Monday.
Cheers.
Bye.
Green team. All right. Let's. Was that satisfactory, Baron? I mean, yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Coin, what's going on? Where's your camera? What an introduction. Coin, you there?
Coin looks like me. Coin gets to be me tonight.
Coin, you in here? All right. Coin, text me when you're back. I'll bring you on.
Give me a second here.
Yeah, it'll be like that. I've had my flaws.
Yeah, that's it, right? That's it, Fades. I mean, I think, we've had very similar journeys. I really think we're speaking the truth in that. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just don't focus singular trades.
Huh?
Focus the edge. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. There's no crystal ball
line-
here.
Yeah, having that backup plan, right? Like you got to have a backup plan in life. You got to have a backup plan. You can never be relying on one leg. You can never rely on one stock.
This is why I'm not profitable.
Someone screenshot this.
Oh man, the kid's gonna grow up and be like, "Daddy, that's why you weren't successful trading me."
This is
Hey,
why
no.
I'm in a college fund.
Yeah.
Hey, that non-profitable end.
All right, there you are, Coin.
Are we
I
good?
hear you.
Coin?
I don't see you, but I hear
Hello,
you.
hello.
Yeah, we're good.
You're
We
like,
can hear you, brother.
you're like the Holy Spirit.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
Oh,
we
there
go.
you are.
You're good, man. Oh, you cut back out now.
So it's like the Holy Spirit. I can't see you, but
I don't
you.
hear nothing, guys.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, try to rejoin. You're good now. We can see you and hear you, but you probably have
I don't know why.
Yeah. EV Mux lags. Maybe just
Mic's on, video's on.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can't. We can hear you and see you. You might not be able to hear us though. Can you hear us? Yeah, you just have to. Let me.
Restart.
My girl's like, why don't you type in chat? Yeah.
Degenerate James.
I love this. Yeah, degenerate James. Are you taking my crown, bro? Am I passing the crown to you, James? So my
DJ,
average
yeah.
share size. So yeah, so to address that real quick while we're working on these texts. So for the 25K, like I always preach, play the evals aggressive, right? Because small risk, high reward. But once you're funded, size down. Like play it the conservative game, right? Like just shoot for small days because like you're getting payouts. So for the funded account, anything over like 1.5K is a big position for me. I like to stick with about 1K, which is like 1 times leverage on a 1K account, 25K account. With the 50K, just double it. Double the math on that. But different strokes for different folks. I actively trade a lot, so I'm managing my risk. I think the risk is kind of the more important question, right? Like how much are you risking per trade? All right, Coin.
I can't hear you guys. I have
Coin,
no
you-
audio.
Can you hear us? No.
No audio here.
Hmm.
All right, we're gonna have to speak in Braille.
Interesting. Yeah, we can see you and hear you fine.
Kevin, why can't I hear anything?
Maybe try try
What
your,
is going on?
try your computer or your phone, like vice versa. Switch it up. If one's not working, try the other.
Settings, everything's on.
Yeah, we can hear you and see you, but trades a day. I'm averaging about 100 trades a day, Bernadette. I'm usually working like at least 5 stocks. I mean, I trade a lot though. Like this is my full-time job, so I have side hustles, but like trading is my main thing. So I'm dialed in. I like to take a break around lunch. Hit the gym, but I love after-hour trading. I love pre-market. I love the green team streams when we trade.
Man, we're so dialed in, dude.
Dude, I love it. I'm so pumped, dude. Like this is the
It's-
dream team right here. Dream team, guys.
I mean, knock
Big
on
shake.
wood, dude. Like we.
No knocking on wood. Trust the process, bro.
All right, no knock on wood, dude. When we're streaming, it is a rarity to have a red day. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Yeah,
Boy,
we got
you hear us?
Yeah. Are we? All right, Baron's back. Oh man.
Oh, you're gonna have a long night, Baron. Where you at? This is like 11 o'clock over here. What
Where
time
are
zone
you?
you?
Where are you located, Baron?
11, 12.
Oh,
Same.
oh,
We're all in the same time frame, aren't we?
ooh. All good, all good. I mean, it don't last forever. Those long nights, they don't last forever. Hey, these are the red days, right, Dr. B? These are the red days. Yeah.
Here. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I promised a 5K giveaway. I guess I better do that before everybody goes to sleep. While we're waiting for Coin and Dr. B in the background, guys, go ahead and throw a number out there. Let's do 1 to 20. Don't copy anybody else. 1 to 20. We'll do a random number generator. I'll share the screen for a 5K eval giveaway. I'm going to give away a $5,000 account. Throw a comment down. Number 1 to 20. Don't copy anybody else. Don't put the same number in twice for a $5,000 eval giveaway. And I will be right
You hear
back
that?
while you guys are
On
doing
the
that.
giveaway. Get on your YouTube.
Yeah.
My girl's gonna join trading. I'm trying to get her to the secretary for the green team, guys. I'm working on it. Working on mobile setting, all good. Yeah, I've been dealing with the stream headaches, Coin. If you have a phone, like try doing it on your computer, and then like try doing it on your phone, or if you have like an iPad or something, maybe like try a different device. 100 trades with 1,000 shares, dude. I mean, like I said, I'm in my computer a lot of the day, guys, trading. So like 100 trades, it's all about protecting the mental capacity, right? But if I'm managing risk, like taking paper cuts and in and out, taking profit, at the end of the day, I'm probably going to end up with like 100 executions, you know?
Coin. I'm taking your first number, Coin. All right.
I got to put in a number.
All right. Baron's in here. Hell no. Hell to the no. You ain't putting a number in there. You already got an account.
I didn't mean to type one, but I did.
Yeah, Baron, you throw a number down there.
Yeah,
too.
Coin, just switch it up, bro. You should be good. Like, just try your computer instead of your phone, vice versa. Should be able to get you in here.
Pick a random coin and then coin finds our souls. Is that?
I'd like to hear from you.
So we're doing a 5,000 eval giveaway. Pick a random number between
You
1 and
need to eval the
20.
Baron, right? Yeah, Baron needs the eval. Yeah, this is a whole script, Baron. You're winning the eval, bud. Trade the bull promo.
This was all planned. This This was
They
all
owe me
planned.
money tonight. They owe me money.
Got me
Uh,
here.
all right. So, Coin, I'm taking your first number, by the way. That's 5. And Uzo 17, Emmanuel 8. A lot of people in here already have TTP, so they're being nice and generous and not putting down a number. But
My girlfriend
Yeah.
said 10 if that counts for anything.
you guys gonna be a couple, like a couple traders?
Yeah,
That could be a thing, dude. Y'all could start a show.
we might. I'm working on it. Process.
Oh man! All right, Baron, throw your number out there if you want to. I'm about to do it.
All right, lucky number 4.
Baron, you're on it. You won.
Okay, hang on. Let's do this again. All right, guys. 1 to 10. 1 to 10. I'm
We
gonna
got a
take
live stream update. Stream it.
1 to 10.
Show us the
Coin
screen.
5. Juan 7. 7. I'm taking your first number 1.
See these results live. We got to see it.
Fades, you dumbass, too. No, I ain't taking that. Degenerate James, eval number 26. I ain't doing eval number 26.
James'
dude.
name is Jerk.
He's James.
James.
James. Oh my
You're
god.
getting back in stream Monday, bud. We're getting right, James.
Oh my god. You've already won one of these, James. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Give it to him. You
Can't
earned
do
it.
that. TTP's gonna be like, what the hell?
I do.
Eval number 26. You're giving this
Right.
guy. No, you're good, James. You're good. You haven't won one yet? Okay. Okay. 8. I mean, you admitted in chat you're on eval 25, so I can only. All right. Let's do DJ. Okay, DJ and James number 1. Emmanuel 8, Coin 5, Uzo, put another number in there.
What was the correct number? Wait a minute.
We're about to do it. I'm gonna share the screen. Random number generator 1 to 10.
Yeah. You share it?
Yeah, I'm about to.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Sharing the screen. Get your number in there.
Here we go, guys.
All right, drum roll. 3, 2, 1. Generate. 8.
8.
Oh, that was quick. I thought there'd be more.
James.
I thought there'd be more. Like,
Wait, that was his last number. He typed like 7 numbers.
you're like, all right, generate.
Man,
All right,
get true to
I was like-
generate, bro.
I
Monday
thought
will
they
be here soon. Don't worry, James.
I swear to God, I thought there was going to be some kind of show, some kind of like fireworks. He was like, all right, generate a number. All right, number's 8.
It's so boring. It's Google generator. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, who had 8 first? Actually, Emmanuel had 8 first. There we go. I thought James had it, dude. I was like, what the hell? No, Emmanuel had it, right? Yeah, Emmanuel had the first 8. All right.
Wait a
Manual.
minute.
all right, Baron wins it. Sacrifice to Baron.
Emmanuel,
You
email
gotta
me.
join the cult. You're joining the cult. There's no way around it. Like, you're joining.
You can give it to James. Oh, goodness. Y'all fight for it. One of you email me. AveryDayTrading@gmail.com. Email me. You got the 5K eval. Good work. It's been a good stream. Coin, next week, you want to join in Friday night?
Yeah.
You're welcome to. You're welcome to. This was awesome with Dr. B. I think it's very, there's a lot of significance in breaking down the psychology. Honestly, like, dude,
Yeah.
this would be like a hit, like a segment on just trader psychology, like why you keep blowing up accounts. Essentially,
Yeah.
that could be like the segment, and there because it's all psychology. I mean, it all is. I mean, so there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. We could break that
There's
down a lot.
to it because the psychology behind it is more impulsive. It has to do with more fear. The neurons when you have a reflex, the
Mhm.
neurons when you are literally hit with a tool, those are the ones that activate the quickest. And evolutionarily speaking, they need to activate the quickest. And so when we're talking about day trading, we're talking about like these stocks that can move 20 cents instantly.
Hmm.
These are the kind of reactions that we are not designed for. So we're designed for conservatism. And so when we're talking about like, all right, this stock is going to move against you, you're like, oh no, fear of loss, it's moving quickly. There is a very cerebral ancient system that responds in you. It is so slow but conservative that we are often forced to abide by it. And so we could talk for days about the evolution of loss and grief, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right, and that's why. God, I'm done preaching this, but you
Oh
can set
God,
stops.
here we go.
Your
Here we go.
stops, bro. Like post market stops. That's a big part of our problem.
Here we
That's a
go.
big part of our problem. I'm just saying.
And that's why TGP Barrett.
I'm just saying.
Now
Go
let's move.
ahead and get on there and feel it.
Um,
Give me my little cut back.
I wish I wasn't so faded because I do have some important things to say about that, Baron.
That's
I'm,
what
pre-
Yeah,
I'm pretty gone.
that part too. That part.
I'm
the,
pretty-
so here's what I want to say super quickly is that when I was first starting out, I started on Reddit. This is going to be very controversial. And so this idea around basically Reddit members, I would say this is white cis hetero men who are just like, you need to cut off emotion. You have no emotions. Like, listen, emotions are the things that keep us alive. We have emotions because it's like, hey, this thing is a threat to us.
Right.
How do
Yeah.
you respond to this threat? And most of the day traders I found on Reddit, they're like, cut off your emotion, cut off your emotion. It's factually true. You do need to be able to cut a trade and not be emotional about it. But
Yep.
the emotions are not something to completely withdraw from. They are evolutionarily superior and protective for us. And so there's not a distinction that's made, at least I've heard in my 1 year of day trading,
Right.
between
This is
Oh, yeah.
important, right? So when you're in the red, you have the fight or flight, like you're saying.
Right.
So you see the market as a threat when it's literally printing information. So as you're saying,
Right.
you're red, it's like, oh, this is a threat. I want to naturally fight it. Right?
Right.
I want to fight it, and that's what gets you in trouble. That's why for me, setting the hard stop has been good for me because I do naturally want to fight. When things are skyrocketing, I want to fight. So setting the stop and walking away works because what you're
Yeah.
saying is so accurate. It's very accurate in trading.
What will make you the most optimal? This is why I've been fucking around with longs. What will make you the most optimal trader is recognizing when that system's like, hey, this is way too. So you're going short on trade. You're negative.
Fox is back in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there we go, brother. Let's go. Are we live?
Oh goodness. Well, it's set up for next week.
Yeah.
We're running a marathon
Fine.
tonight.
Yeah, right. We're tested for next week. Yeah. there
Yeah.
you go.
What's up, boys?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Baron. With
No. Point.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Dude, we're talking about this idea. Weigh in on this one. The hardest thing, and this is where I started going long. The hardest thing, I'm a psychologist. The hardest thing is being in your own psychology and saying, like, this is not working against me. So there was a trade this morning, lunch hour, where I said, this is working against me. If I stop now and fight the instinctual habits I have, instead of going short and accepting the short, if I close the short and go long, I will be more profitable. But instead, I stuck with the short. I didn't want to admit the loss, and I owned it, and that was the most negatively beneficial thing I could do.
Yeah, was it because you didn't want to admit the loss or you didn't want to admit you were wrong?
Both,
Right.
right? So if this was a stock where I started going negative, I could close out the trade, go from short to long, and long it till it hit $1 in profit. right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's so in psychology there's this term. So we work with a lot of folks who have very they're very stuck, they're very concrete. So we introduce this idea of acceptance and commitment therapy where they can be really cognitively flexible. But cognitive flexibility is hard for so many people where you can just like, okay, I'm not going to do that. And I do something else. That's the hardest thing for so many people. Where you say, like, okay, I was long, I'm wrong, I'm going to go short.
That's hard.
That comes
It's the
with
hardest thing for so many people, especially my patients.
So how do you teach that to your patients?
The main thing would be something called distress tolerance. Distress tolerance is like bearing and gripping down on like this thing hurts, it's going to cost me this much, and I do it anyway. But we don't want to do that. Psychologically, evolutionarily, we don't want to do that. It
So is
hurts.
there an exercise that you would do with your patients to try to break that cycle?
It's called distress tolerance from dialectical behavioral therapy, where you have to learn to tolerate that distress and do the thing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a therapy I've done for myself. It's usually committed for personality disorders. Again, it's something that is so hard where you have to be able to say like, oh yeah, this thing hurts. I can do the thing that hurts anyway. That's why most people procrastinate. This thing hurts me so bad. I want to avoid it for as long as I can. That's why most people procrastinate. They say like, I just want to avoid this thing. If I can avoid this painful reality and then it goes away, maybe it'll get better. And that happens with procrastination, it happens with day trading.
So you're going to have to put yourself through those exercises, huh?
Hell no, I'm not going to do that. I will be unprofitable until the day I die.
No, you won't. You're going to try to pull. Feel
I
it.
think, I think that's part of the problem, though. A lot of people, they want to be right, and I've heard that actually even taking a loss still produces a dopamine, right? So I mean that's what a lot of people are after, is that they don't realize they're after that dopamine hit,
Yeah. 100%.
and they don't want to admit they're wrong, and
I
they're
don't-
still going to get the dopamine
Or
hit.
gamble dopamine, right? Yeah.
I don't know if the loss produces the dopamine hit, but a success, like let's say I'm down $100.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get 50 cents on a trade, I will get a dopamine hit from that.
Yeah, I've heard that you will also get it from a loss too.
That's
It
interesting.
just equally as much, and that's why a lot of people will still stay in a losing trade, because they're still getting that.
Yeah, expound on that a little bit. I mean, so Coin's been trading for like 20 years. He's got a lot of
No, not
experience
20
here.
years.
We could,
Not 20 years.
you've been trading 20.
15,
How long?
about 15.
15. Okay, 15. I mean, we're 3/4 of the way, right? C plus. You have a lot of experience, though. I mean, what do you elaborate on that a little bit as far as the losses go? What the dopamine rush? Because I know the scarcity loop. You, Baron, you would be interested in this. The scarcity loop. I don't know if you've studied that, but it's very interesting with trading because it's applied to certainly so many different things, like the opportunity, the quick repeatability. There's so many factors with that creates that dopamine rush. And trading certainly one of them, but like scrolling through social media, doing this and that, it applies gambling. It applies to so many different things, and so we certainly want to avoid that in trading, that scarcity loop, which can be applied there, which would entail gambling, and we want to avoid that. But the dopamine rush, yeah, talk about that, Coin.
I think a lot of people don't realize they're chasing that, and they just.
Yeah.
I think it's a multifaceted thing where, they're trying to make money, they're trying to be right, they're trying to look for any kind of setup, some are trading out of boredom or just looking for the next thing. And ultimately, I think it starts to boil down to a dopamine type rush, which you do get, right? I don't know if that's avoidable per se, but the
Yeah.
longer you trade, the more you realize to just be more even keel
Right.
and just it is what it is. I
Mhm.
make the trade. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm managing the risk and I'm properly analyzing the setup. Right? You're taking an A plus to a B plus setup and not just chasing anything.
Right.
You know, and
The process.
you're working on more of the probability type setup. So when you have the higher probability setups, you just place it, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's it. You know.
It's like thinking like a dealer, like we talk about, like thinking like the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
When do I truly have an edge? Like, when is this favorable for me? And that's through years of experience, right? Through our edge, through our strategies, through process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the longer you trade, the more screen time you have, the quicker you're able to recognize a good setup and the components that come with that
Hmm.
make that up, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think it's important to just not get too emotional, not get too just to be even keel about what you're doing. Analyze the setup. My best trades come from when I'm prepared, right? I'm prepared the night before. I know what I'm looking for. I know if the stock is in an expansion phase or a contraction phase. I know what the average true range is, so I know the potential of, I think it's going to $4. Well, what's the average range of the stock?
Hmm.
Well, it's 50 cents. Well, a $4 move may not be probable unless it's coming out of contraction into expansion with the volume increase. Okay, it could double the ATR. Like I'm prepared for the move. I'm prepared for the target to be able to hit, right? Or looking at it going, well, even though I have let's say it's $2 away, but the ATR is 50 cents. Well, that may be a 3-day trade.
So are you typically long, short? You coin flip? Like, this depends on
I'm mostly long. I'm a much better long trader than short.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
I don't like to short overall because cash seeks yield.
Risk reward.
People are buying stocks to make money.
Exactly.
There's more people buying stocks than trying to short stocks.
True.
It's a much more narrow market. I don't play low floaters or anything.
I think with the penny stock,
I'm only large caps.
different, right?
Only large caps. I might play a mid cap,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I'm only a large cap trader.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For me, there's no reason to trade a small cap stock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Coin, when you were talking about you don't play low float. No.
No, you know why? I've gotten burned enough to know that there's no reason to play that. Like I've been burned in that with low floaters, long and short, right? And yes, you can have some big home run trades by all means, but you can get Tesla presents that every week.
Yeah.
AMD presents that maybe once or twice a month. Apple, the first time it has a 2% day after contraction, you're going to most likely get 2 to 3 consecutive 3% days out of Apple. It's going to be a 2.5%, 3.5%, 5%, and then it's going to start contracting.
I think you gotta
the predictable larger cap moves, right? They're a little more like you can kind of see them playing out.
Yeah. Well, you gotta kind of analyze how they move too.
Mm-hmm.
I only trade a certain basket of stocks, so I know how they move. Like Tesla, it has these explosive moves, and then it begs everybody on a Friday.
Yeah, like deep analysis of like day
Then it begs
years of like trading that thing. Like No one.
I think you got a fan in chat, Coin. Emmanuel, he trades Tesla like every day. He knows that ticker. I
Right.
mean, he
the
knows it in
Tesla
and out.
call. Yeah.
You can if you catch Tesla right, you can buy 20 shares of Tesla and make a couple G's in a week because it moves that much. But if you notice how it moves, it'll I call it an etch a sketch. Right? It says things like, it just shakes around, and then when it does decide to pop, that's when you're getting consecutive 7-8% days in a row. Bam, 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 bam. And then it'll bag everybody after that capitulation move to the upside.
Yeah.
I want to say here,
Bag holder audition. We love
Yeah.
it. Love that
It's
term. It's so funny.
how
What's that?
CoinFox trades. This is one of the benefits of how CoinFox trades versus how we might trade on a low float stock.
Mhm.
And this was actually brought up to us by Uzo Trades. And so we're sometimes, I'll say like I'll even say like 3/4 of us between Kevin, Fades, and I, we are short bias. And I will sometimes go long bias, but the difficulty is when I go long bias, I'm chasing, especially low float trades.
Mhm.
But with CoinFox, he's not chasing. There is a setup he's looking for. It is taking several days. He's swinging the play, and he's usually going to be green. For me, I'm chasing, and if I'm going long, I'm chasing, and I'm wrong within 10 seconds.
Yeah, I don't have a bias. I recognize I'm a better long trader, but I don't have a bias. I don't really care if it goes up or down. I want to just be prepared for both sides of the move, and then the market's just going to show its hand. It's,
Right.
it's going to do what it does,
Yeah.
I think the bias is like imagine you get into a trade within 10 seconds. If you think you know the direction of the trade, so I'm low float, small caps. As soon as I enter a trade, I'm scalping it, right? That's the bias. And so I think the trade's either going up or down, but that's within 10 seconds. And so if you say, well, I'm going to hold on to the stock for a couple minutes, then I'm saying, like, well, wait a minute, that's way different from what I'm doing. You have a way different bias.
I think it's very important to pinpoint that for your trading as far and define it. Like where with this specific trade, what's your time frame? Because everybody has a
100%.
different time. Everybody has a different time frame. Like Fades for our hangovers, I'm looking at all day. I'm looking at all day on those things, and they could be great. Like today, the 10 points on BTTC, but it could be like if we're shorting Euphoria, that could be more scalpy, at resistance. And it could certainly be different for Coin on some of these Tesla plays too. Like Coin, do you want to elaborate on that? Like when you're looking at these plays, are they all day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Scout.
A week? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times. I mean, Kevin, like I texted you a few months ago, and I told you buy Roku at $64. It's going to $100, right? Like, where is it today?
You think I have advice given?
It's at $103. Like
Why didn't you press the damn button for
yeah,
me? Coin?
like these are like so. I chart a lot of the large caps on quarterly targets.
Okay.
So I'm looking for a quarterly move. That's what institutions do, right? They place their quarterly bets or their targets. So they're playing per quarter, right? That's how they settle their books. That's how they get their bonuses. That's how they work. So
Okay.
I start at a quarterly view first, and then I start to build it from there. I always check the yearly, the 6 month, the quarterly, and it's like right now I'm playing a quarterly because we have 3 months left in the year, right? So I'm using the quarterly to tell me where do I think this is going, okay? And then like right now I'm bullish the market, but we have not had any retrace yet on the quarterly candle on a lot of stock. So I'm looking to, yes, if the setup's showing itself today, to go ahead and play it long, but I am aware that the rug pull could be around the corner because we have had no retrace. And this goes back to just traditional price action, right? Most candles will retrace 30 to 50% of their prior bar. And this is on most stocks, right? So when a quarter opens and the next candle just starts going up, we've had no pullback. I'm a little leery of swinging further long until we get some kind of decompression and let's get a chance for a retrace, for some more bulls to reload. And then I'm looking for that continuation to the upside. So 2 reasons. 1, I'm playing a larger range so I can catch a larger move. 2, I'm minimizing my risk on a swing because I'm buying it as it's dropping further into that candle, right? Because if it takes out the low of the quarterly, that may just invalidate the whole trade altogether, right? So I'm trying to get closer to the bottom middle of that candle, which gives me, if I do catch the bounce and if I do get the full move back through the high, then I've caught a very meaty move. And then I start there. So like right now, SPY has done no retrace. But look at Tesla. False break, got buried, right? So now you look at the Tesla quarterly, it's showing that it may start the retrace move next week into the 390s, 370s, somewhere, maybe even the 350s, right? That's going to be a key support level. That's going to be approximately 50% of the prior bar. And then you got earnings coming. So, they already had good numbers. They already had higher vehicle registrations. It'll probably start getting scooped up there. And then you look at the options chain, there's huge volume at the 500 for the end of the quarter. 500s, 550. So we just hit 470 and dumped. I'm looking for that type of swing move, right? Now, knowing that that's my thesis, if it invalidates mine, then it invalidates. It's going to show its hand. But as it starts to play out, and if I can catch the turn, then that's keeping me intraday in that long bias because it did pull back, it did validate support, it did start the turn. Now I'm going to look to buy dips until the trade invalidates, right? So that's kind of how I trade those type of stocks, like the larger cap stocks. Small cap, I really don't do it. Occasionally I get sucked in, and I'll be honest, like I'll get bagged on a lot of them because they're just so wild. A lot of them are illiquid. You get crazy moves that make no sense. It's like
know about that.
Like Doc was showing us. What was it? ST what? ST.
I traded like 20 of them like that.
You showed one today though. It had that liquidation candle.
Oh, that crazy one towards the end of the day.
STES or something,
or
What ticker?
No, ST something, STES or
SOPA. There was SYTA. SYTA.
Yeah, SYTA. Right. So it has like manipulation. The bidder just walking it up into his sell order. Once he's done selling his shares, then he pulls the bid and then takes a dump. Everybody gets bagged, stops get ran, wash out long, back to the top.
Bag holder audition.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like he brought that ticker up, and I immediately put it on my watch list because I'm like, oh damn, Monday, come Monday, this thing could fade down.
Well, there is that ticker. Yeah, same.
It's too hard for me.
Yeah, I was like,
I can't do it. I'm not looking for that quick hit like that. I'm looking for a well thought out long trade. That's
So you're never shorting coin.
I do. I shorted Tesla today. I shorted Coinbase and covered. Thank God, because I thought it was going lower. I thought it was going to fill the gap, It looked like it was going to fill the gap. The 4-hour chart was showing it, but it hit a dead stop, hit the brakes, and I'm watching. I'm like, well, I guess I'll take. I had options, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll take 12% on it. I guess, like and then it turned around and ran back to 370, right? And I'm like, whew, but so yeah, I mean, I do short. If I short, I like to short with options. That's
Okay, so you're an options player.
I do both. I have both. I have an account for options and I have an account just for shares.
Okay, nice, interesting. I've never played options personally. So
Um,
I don't know about them.
Options are good if you understand, like what strikes to buy and
Like bigger
and
picture, kind of.
what time frames. Right now, a lot of I think they say 70% of the options volume is 0 DTE right now. So it's really making the market a lot different than it was 5 years ago.
It's got a lot of
I
influence.
want to say super quick, Emmanuel Falcon, enjoy the movie with your wife. Hopefully, we'll all see you on Monday.
Yeah. Thanks for being a part, Emmanuel.
No wolf. Okay, so that wolf ticker you guys were talking about the last couple days.
Yeah, what's your analysis on that?
My analysis is this thing is going to moon soon. Like
Okay.
these shorts are not following through. Like
No, it's shaky, man. I got chopped
yeah,
out.
this thing's gonna blast. Like I can't. Hold on. Let me look. Is it at? I think it's going to.
This is great, bro. I love this.
Is this?
I love this shit.
You know what? Let me not use my computer because. Is it at 16? Is that the one that's at like 16 or $18 right now?
It's at like 25-ish.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I was hoping it would come down to like 17 or 16
Oh,
something.
that's your buy target?
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe that's my short cover.
That's Wolf Speed, right?
That thing. They like scammed everyone, right? They scammed everybody with their RS. Like they like printed, bro.
Bates, how you gonna tell that man? All right, let's go. Stop. That's my cover.
Okay.
I don't know what they're doing, dude.
Wolf
Like,
Speed
finesse.
has a measured move of $47. Like that's the measured move. That's where it should be going by the end of the quarter. Is
book
47.
value, like because they cleared debts, right? They like reverse splitted, but they cleared debts. Dude, I don't even know. Some weird shit.
It's so interesting as a short bias trader who trades on momentum to hear someone talk about quarters. It should be here by the end of the quarter. I'm like, where's it going to be in the next 20 seconds? That's such a huge difference
Yeah.
as a scalper versus a swing trader. Where I'm like, you're talking about like 6 months from now. I'm talking about like I don't even know 6 seconds from now.
Well, but that's how you catch the big moves. You know.
Unless I place 10,000 shares and then I get 12 cents.
Yeah, but then now you're taking on more risk than you should.
100%.
You know, and that's a surefire way to blow your account because you get one order skip, and you're like, boop, 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 oh shit, you know. So
Yeah.
it's how do you balance making a good trade with the right size to get you the same outcome as if you took 10,000 shares or 1,000, whatever number you're comfortable with, right?
So
go ahead.
no, you go ahead, Baron. Go ahead, bro.
Well, it's hard because for me currently, it's almost like this. As soon as I get profit, I want to grab it, and as soon as I'm in a deficit, I want to hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I know a stock is like historically or presently going up.
No, you're human. You're human.
I'm human. I'm just like I just want to hold on to it. The true metric is for how I trade, for what I trade, for the low flow. It's like if it does not go immediately green in my favor, I need to get out. That is a hard and fast rule that I cannot follow as a human being. because if it does go green in my favor, immediately stay in it. It goes up 5 cents, 10 cents, whatever, stay in it. Not until it reverses, you get out. But if you get in and it's immediately red, it goes against you, out.
Well,
And
are you buying a support level, or are you, what's your criteria for buying, right? Because if you're
so
buying, let's say you're buying, 350 is the quote unquote support, my favorite play would be they sweep 350 into the 330s, reclaim free 350 and trap the shorts and run. That would be like you hammer
So
it
you're
home.
probably not going to get that with a low float momentum stock in pre-market. You that level might even crash through.
Oh,
And
sure.
so it's hard to
I
determine
think
that.
I was gonna ask what coin, like what time do you usually find success? Like what is your
The
process?
first 2 hours of the day.
So you're like a bell trade or
100%. First 2 hours of the day are my best 2
bell
hours.
long normal?
100%. If I stick around after the first 2 hours, I'm going to give back half of what I made. I guarantee it.
And that's textbook of what do we preach, right? Because like we say the bell is choppy as shorts, and then like things tend to reveal themselves after an hour or two.
And that's if I continue to trade, right? But if I have a thesis and I'm trading, let's say a 4 hour candle, I got a 5 point target, and it's validating that it's on the way there. One thing you'll notice is when you have, and this is for larger cap thick stocks, right? When you have momentum going in a certain direction, and it persists after the first 30 to 40 minutes, oftentimes it's going to continue for the entire 4 hours. The
Mm-hmm.
first 4 hour candle most times is going to be pretty, it's going to be chunky. You're going to get your pullbacks on every
Yeah.
10 to 15 minutes before every candle close. You're going to get a little decompression and some consolidation. The next candle open, you're probably going to get a retrace pullback. That third hour might be red, the fourth hour will be green, but overall you're going to get continuation for about
Yeah.
4 hours. So if I'll stay in a trade, but if I start looking around for trades after the first 2 hours, it doesn't go well.
That's interesting. That's interesting because it's like if it sustains its Momo through lunch,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of what I talk about. Like either they give it up and they fade, or they stay strong through lunch and then continue that pressure forward.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's definitely worth noting for sure.
And then the second 4 hours, I'm either looking for the next 4 hour candle to open with no retrace, and that's when I'm really looking to get out of the trade, knowing that it might do a hard decompression toward the close, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see that with SPY a lot. It'll run, the last 30, 40 minutes it's running, then you'll get this kill candle that just wipes out all the premiums, takes out 3 hours worth of gains in one move, and then it'll wiggle its way back up and close. So you look at the daily, it's got a little hook on top. It's
Yeah.
like,
The rug down and then like that little reclaiming back up, like the 50.
Yeah. So, and that has a lot to do with zero DTE options. So you got people chasing them calls at the end. You got the big boys dumping the load.
Mm-hmm.
All them options that were 20 cents that are now $1.20. They wipe the premiums on those, crush them all. So
yeah. So you're mainly big cap. You don't really dive in the small caps too much. Just
not really.
big cap longing.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally I'll trade a mid cap if it has range. Like if a stock doesn't have $3 to $5 a day range, I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, right.
It just, I need to see that, right? And sometimes I pick the wrong horse. Like one thing my mentor taught me, he's a Wall Street trader for 40 years. He taught me, yesterday's horse may not be today's horse.
100%.
So you may be like, all right, I'm going to go back to this one today, and it's not the same. How many
Oh, yeah.
times have you seen Tesla make a massive move and then all of a sudden it just does nothing for like the whole day? You're like,
Yeah, it's like
kidding me?
the marrying thing, right?
Mhm.
It's like we can never marry because
Yeah. So you gotta
eventually,
be willing to move on.
eventually they betray us, right? Unfortunately,
Yeah. Well,
eventually they're gonna, you know.
one thing I notice right now, which is a little different than a few months ago, is a few months ago you would have all of the Mag 7 running. They would be running as a pack, getting the market back to these highs. Now
Mhm.
they're rotating. So
Okay.
you'll see Microsoft hit its measured move, pulled back, and now it's just chopping around for weeks to a month, right?
Yeah.
Netflix hit the move, Meta hit the move, Apple lagged hard, Nvidia lagged, then Nvidia took off, that pulled back now. So they're rotating. Now it's a rotation game. And because they have so much weight, they can float the market. Nvidia could have a nothing day. Apple has a 3% day. It carries the whole team. So now I'm watching more for rotation, and I'm looking to see who's going into contraction so that I can start getting the setup for the expansion move, right? Because everything is going to come off of support. If it's going to go up, support's going to validate. So I want to see. I'm watching rotation now. This is the big thing for me. And if you notice now, healthcare. Mag stocks have slowed down a little. Healthcare has started to take off in the last 2 weeks. So we got to watch that. There's good healthcare plays.
Yeah, I used the dad
I'm
trader.
just reading the chat. I'd be longer than a committed to a stock than I have a woman. Oh man, yeah,
So
I'm all
usually
about
there's the things I watch for.
that dad trader. Yeah, we're a few, three of us are dad traders in
is that
here.
the hotline? is this trader hotline?
That's my
So-
It's a rehab call center. We'll help you. Baron speaking.
Bitcoin alert.
What's that, baby? Oh,
Hey man, we mark my word, guys. Trader rehab, it's coming. The Trader Resort, it's coming.
Trader
2026, it's
I
here.
hear trader rehab. That makes me
Resort.
So just in the last thing I want to say before we go, I was watching the whole stream. I think it would be very important, beneficial to really do some good prep on stocks. Kevin, I know you used to do this a lot. I remember those days where you used to put in some time and have all your levels mapped out on multiple tickers and be prepared. I think it's really beneficial, especially for new traders that are watching.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
It's more important
gotta do your
to
homework.
follow a process and understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. If you can't name the setup, you shouldn't trade the setup.
Yeah,
If you can't name it, you don't know what just happened.
hmm
What play just got ran on you. You shouldn't trade it.
yeah.
So
It's like
you
if you're
have
new
to
in
be
this game,
able to
you have a lot of work to
recognize-
do.
Yes, you have to
It's
be
a
able to
lot of
recognize
time.
that.
hmm
So
Well, Kevin, what's your response to that? Is it something that was not beneficial to you? Did you stop? What was the reason for maybe as much, not as much prep?
What's that?
I don't know if I've done less prep. I mean, I'd have to reflect on that a little bit. I don't disagree with Coin as far as doing prep work on your trades. I mean, certainly I've done the work to get funded, and I'm working in the green on the funded account.
Yeah. Mhm.
I do agree, though. I mean, you gotta
Yes.
do the homework. Essentially, what Coin has said that stuck with me. One thing you've said, Coin, that I've carried with me along this funded account so far is the trade validated or invalidated based off of your original theory on it. That's one thing I've carried with me. You said it and it stuck with me. Like if you're essentially in this trade and you don't know you have no idea what's your profit, what's your loss, you shouldn't be in it. You shouldn't be in it anymore because it's invalidated at that point. When I get into a trade, generally, I mean, most of the time when I want to have an idea, I want to have the theory. I want to know what my levels are. As Coin says, what's the invalidation here? I try to say, okay, if this breaks this level, I'm out of it. I try to always explain that on stream. I like this trade against this level. I'm
Because of that.
always. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You could tell me, Quinn, if I've alluded to something. I don't. I think I've tried to stay, strict with that. But if you saw something otherwise, let me know. But yeah, when I get into a trade, I'm saying, what levels are we risking off of? The risk is the most important here. Otherwise, you're gambling because if you don't have risk in mind, then you're not trading. You're gambling at that point.
And that's why I don't have a dollar or percent stop loss. It's it invalidate. That's all I care about. If I think 350 is going to hold, and it comes into 352, I see buyers on the tape. I see a flood of orders coming in. I have to hit the long button, even if I'm incorrect. I have to hit the button. That's the setup. The setup is it comes down, it does a retrace, it defends the previous day's low, it defends the previous day's open. The buyers are there, volume's increasing, it's in a bullish trend. I have to hit the button.
And it's like, how do we do that? How do we
care if I'm wrong.
We manage our risk, right?
Yeah.
Because if we're oversized, we don't want to accept that. And that's all of it. That's everything.
Yeah. And Fades, you do this well. I see you add to trades a lot. That's good. Well. So if I get in it and it's valid, it has not invalidated, it hasn't shown me that I'm incorrect, then I'll add to the trade on dips. And I'm going to have a 4-hour range already set. So I know if it holds this, I'm looking for this candle to go at least test the high of the previous.
Yeah.
Because it's defended the low. Yes, you do get inside bars sometimes. We all know that happens. But those are like 5% of the time. So I got to stick with the probabilities of, okay, we defended the lows. I got to play for the high. What's the range of that 4 hours? It's $9. Okay. I'm going to add on dips. I'll sell on pushes, and as it gets closer to that, I'm going to have 75% of the trade gone, and then I'm going to hold the rest to see if it breaks through. Because for me, it also depends on how much time is on the clock. If I'm trading a 4-hour candle and it took 3 3/4 hours to get to the top, it probably will do a little peekaboo. But if there's 2.5 hours left and it's rejecting that top, there's a possibility it flushes back through the low. So I'm trying to manage it, hold a little runner there. And if it goes back to my entry, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Like, whatever. I took 75% of the profit. I played the range. I took the meat of the move, and
exactly.
The rest, if it invalidates and takes me out, okay.
Yeah, predictable piece. Like, taking that predictable piece, I feel like is underrated, right?
Yeah.
If you just
you have to take some profits.
Yeah, you gotta take some. You gotta take some to ease that mind, ease that psychology, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta take some.
Well,
and that's the power of scaling in and out. Like, being all in. All right, I'm all in. Like, this is never a good idea.
No, couple bullets. You should have a couple bullets if you're trading shares. If you're gonna do 100 shares, do 425 share lots. Just scale in as it's coming into your zone. It just lowers your risk.
Yeah.
And if you're wrong, get out. If it sweeps the low and reclaims structure and traps the bears, then don't be afraid to jump back in and hit it. Same in reverse, right? You got a $4, you're short at $4, it goes down to $3.50, it comes back, your stop's at $4, it peekaboos, $4.10, $4.20, reclaims $4, starts rolling over hard. It was a liquidity sweep. You can't be scared to just re-hit it. Get back in. So
And
that's
it's
why I say I don't have like a dollar amount. It could be $1. I don't care what it is. It's the level. If the buyers aren't there and they're not showing themselves, then I'm wrong.
right.
I'm wrong.
Well, I want to say really quick before we get into anything else. I know that Kev has been an excellent host. Degenerate James has made that point for us where he's kind of centering his guest, and he's always doing an excellent job with that. I also know that Christoph has been commenting up in the chat. He's asking about the setups. And, this is really a difficult question because when it comes to pre-market setups and when it comes to daily setups, it's really hard to determine what's going to be the thing that sets you up for either a long versus it tanks, or if this is going to be a short versus it's completely sells. And I have my own opinions on this. This is more of a low float market. When Apple sells news, it's a little bit more predictable, but I know that was something Christoph was commenting on.
Yeah, it's going to depend on the nature of the day and the market, and that's why it's good to follow us, right? Because like we're giving the live update. Like me and Kevin are live trading every trade, like every situation. So the market is always changing, guys. So you just have to adapt at the end of the day. I mean, each day is going to be different.
Is there other setup fades, Kevin, that I know for me, there is a setup I'm looking for when it comes to a pre-market. So I'm looking at news, I'm looking at float, I'm looking at volume within the 1 minute. Is there anything you all are looking for when it comes to either shorting? And I would say going long, but you don't go long. But is there anything that you're looking for, or even diminishing volume that you're looking for? And in CoinFox, if this even applies to you, is there something you're looking for?
Yeah, that's a great question.
That setup.
I mean, if I'm going to be looking to short a low float, of course, you want to look at your larger time frame resistance levels, right? You want to start there and have an idea of one, where your resistance is, or two, where the liquidity sweep could be, right? Because if they need buyers, they're going to need shorts to puke. So that's where I would start. And then I would look at, if I'm going to short, where we at in the day, what kind of volume are we getting as we're approaching these resistance levels? And am I seeing a lot of selling pressure? Am I seeing bids getting pulled, fading, getting thin? And then I'm going to look to see, is this move that happened excessive, or is it within the range? Right? Like, is there a catalyst that's not fluff? Right? Like, is
So
this
within tolerances, like the direction it's going, is it not too parabolic? It's within expectancies.
Yes. If it's something that's within an expectancy and it's not some, let's just say like it's real good news and it's legit, I'm probably not looking to short it. I'm probably looking to buy dips because it's legitimate good news. Like Intel, the government took a stake in Intel. NVIDIA put up $500 billion or whatever crazy number.
Government backing, right?
That's the stock you want to continue to buy dips on, because next year it's probably going to be $150. So that's a setup. Okay, cool. But on a low float, it's got to be good news. There's got to be a high R vol. If I'm looking to short it, I'm looking for fake volume. I'm looking for a lot of head fake near the top, peekaboos, wikis. They love the peekaboo, right? They get you in the short, and then it curls back around, and you're like, oh,
it's really like that key support and resistance, like I talk about.
Yeah,
like it sounds so textbook, but it's true. It's like when it finally breaks that level, right? It's like you're waiting all that time for that level, all the churn, all the chop. but
Yeah.
it's respecting that level. Like once that level actually breaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kev, what is the setup you're traditionally looking for or have been looking for?
Oh, you know that.
Yeah, but tell it for the audience.
Dr. B, you're just used to asking questions. That's your job.
I like it.
Guilty.
Is that a truly?
Yeah. That's his job, asking questions. His clients like to talk, so it's he
Yeah.
asks questions. They like to talk. Coin left us. You know that, Dr. B. Yeah, just the faders. I mean, I like the backside faders
How do you determine something's fader versus double top?
versus double top.
Yeah.
So it's a good question. It's valid. I think it's you're digging in the right place here. What there's a few variables you're looking for. For example, one, you don't necessarily want the hangovers to double top. You want there to be light volume. You want after a big play the day prior, the 2 days prior, 3 days prior, you want there to be like no volume bearing. Oh God, here I go. Here we go. Green team.
You guys ever have these?
I love this, bro.
Jack Daniels punch?
That's good stuff. This is what got me funded. I mean, it's really what got me funded is trading these hangovers. I mean,
Yeah, we're on it, guys. The hangover, dude. Don't complicate it. The hangover is
complicate it.
working, man. Hangover strategy.
Baron,
Baron CoinFox, ever tried a hangover strategy?
Yeah.
You ever triple?
Yeah, I've traded low floats with Kevin back in the day, but
no. You're already shining a negative light on them with that low float nonsense.
it's not that it's not a good strategy. It's a great strategy. Plenty of people make a great living just doing that, right? It's what you're comfortable with, and I just recognize I see the charts. I read them better in the long format. It's kind of like you could be a switch hitter, right? But there's always a dominant side, right? You can bat lefty, you can bat righty, but you're dominant lefty. Okay,
Right.
that's your go-to, right? So that's for me. Long is my go-to. I can flip. I just don't recognize it as quickly, right? You know how when you guys are short bias traders, right? You recognize the short much quicker. And that's how I am with the long. I recognize the long setup really fast before the expansion happens.
You found your edge there, and there's a reason for that. Like dig into that, as Baron's suggesting. Like, why, CoinFox, do you find these long trades? Like, for example, why I find these short trades is because I once was on the wrong side of all of them. So I know now if I want to be among the 10%, I got to take the uncomfortable side of these trades, which is not buying high and hoping higher, but shorting high and buying lower, which should be fairly obvious, but it's not so much, when you first get into trading. So why is that? We got to dig deep there and try to assess.
What's the question exactly?
Well, essentially, as you progress in your journey, like why coin are you now taking these long? You've gravitated towards these longs for a reason.
Well, he's long low float, right? He's like trading Tesla. We're trading a penny stock from China no one's ever heard of, right?
Right.
I mean, I do short. Don't get me wrong. I do short, and I'm always looking for the short in the right situation. Example, currently, I'm looking for a lot of shorts on big names because we have not had the retrace move on the quarterly yet. So I am looking for the short setups on a few of these names to come back into this quarterly candle, right? And if I'm lucky enough to catch one of them, because it could happen pre-market and it's over, right? You get these big gap downs and then it runs back up all day, you know. So if I'm able to catch it, I will take that trade. But knowing the overall context of the market, I'm more focused on waiting for the A plus setup for the pullback move and then ride it for the big move up.
You're fairly
In
unbiased.
the
I
bull
mean,
market, right?
you do just look for the reactive data. I mean, you're not trying to predict
Oh yeah.
these tickers. Yeah, yeah. You do that well. And
Yeah, pulling out and seeing the big picture is what I'm hearing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He does that well.
Well, and that keeps me focused intraday because I don't want to trade against my overall thesis, you know. But right now we have some air underneath us that needs to be filled in, you know. So if it presents itself, I mean, look at AMD. You know, like I have a long thesis on AMD to new highs, but I bought 161 the other day, 162. It gapped up. I I woke up. I'm like, it's 170. I sold 95% of it. I'm like, it just gapped up $10. Like that's the full day's ATR pre-market. Like, come on, you know. Now it's back to 164. I think it might drop into 152, and then that's where I'm looking to start picking it up for the swing back up. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just develop that conviction over time with via experience. I think that addresses your question, Baron. I mean, I've been on the wrong side for X amount of years, and so now I know like where to be comfortable, where to find that comfortability, and that is rather than hold and hope, I hold in the winners now. You know, let's hold in the green on the plays that you know a lot of the other long traders are deer in headlights on, and you're taking advantage of that. I mean, it's the reality of it. You know that players are stuck in this trade, and you're ultimately taking advantage of it. I mean, it is what it is. You're riding it on down, selling high, buying low. It's not too much magic surrounding it, other than I think there's less edge personally for me right now in my trading journey. There's less edge in focusing on where is the crowd at today. I have a higher edge in where was the crowd at last week,
Yeah.
and fading those down. So I
Super convicted where the crowd is today, right now, and I'm like, I want to scalp when they hit the pops, and that's where I get stuck.
yeah, and but that's not atypical, you know, of an initial trading journey. A lot of traders start that way. It's like we want to know where the volume is and we want to be a part of that action, because you will gravitate over time, Baron, to more profitable setups. So the longevity is what's going to lead you to profitability, in my opinion. So don't, just don't blow up. Don't blow up. Learn, because the
Yeah,
tuition's part of it. Because the longer you stick around, the more you'll see that, okay, I don't have to focus on what's the leading gapper today, and you can focus on the higher conviction plays that will become conviction plays over time in your trading journey. But yeah, we've gone longer than I anticipated. This has been a great live stream
I
tonight.
jumped in here.
It's been awesome, guys.
It's been
This is
so
awesome.
good. It's been so
I
good.
will say this: I do miss a lot of trades, or I'll let a lot of trades go
Mhm.
because the price action didn't do what I wanted it to do before. It didn't meet my criteria.
Yeah.
So, Point Fox, listen, that is the number. We're talking about FOMO, and I'd be curious about your perspective about when we will all miss. I missed 5 trades today. When you miss a trade, how do you settle yourself and accept that you missed a trade without giving the FOMO, binge trading, hopping back in?
Mm.
Because after this many years, I realized there's an opportunity every day, every hour, every So
So does that work for you? Can you talk to yourself and tell yourself that in the moment? Because
oh yeah,
I struggle. I struggle with like literally saying that to myself because I'm just like impulsive. I'll hop right into the next trade.
well, you know what that means? You haven't been bagged. You haven't blown up your account enough times, right? I've blown
Yeah, I was gonna say I
over the
have
years.
blown up my account, but
Right,
yes,
right.
enough
So when you've
times to
been bagged enough times, fades tell them, right? You've been bagged enough times, you will start to say, you know what? I'm gonna let it go. I
Yeah.
don't, it didn't meet my criteria, even though everybody's jumping in. This thing's running, and it's like I'm gonna let it go. I
Yeah.
know,
You're just like, I
not
know. I've
to
been there.
touch it.
Yeah.
I know
I've
not
been
to
there.
touch it, especially if I look at it and I go, "Nah, this something ain't right." Now,
Yeah.
if I look at it and I'm like, you know what? There is a valid target here. Everything is working together. I might just to curb myself, nibble.
Yeah.
I might
Right.
nibble.
Exactly. I love that. I love that
Because it's
quote.
not the setup. It didn't do. Let's say I think it's going to $6. I want it to pull back to 350 and validate. All of a sudden, this thing gaps up at 450 and starts running. Am I going to chase this thing when it didn't pull back at all? No, I'm not. I'm going to wait. It starts pulling back. It still didn't hit. I'm wait. Okay, if it starts to go, I might nibble. Because I know that it's supposed to come down to 350. It didn't do it. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen in the next candle. So I might say, okay, we got a 30-minute candle. It is validating a higher high. I might nibble on this thing for the next 30 minutes until the next 1 hour candle opens. And then I'm closing it to see if the next one drills. So if I'm in it and it's not a prepared play, right? The longer you trade, you look at it, you can kind of spot the setup pretty quick. I'm going to be a lot more cautious on that trade. I'm not prepared for it. I have no analysis. It's kind of like it popped. I looked at it, big picture, zoom in. Okay, it can work. I'm going to nibble.
Mhm.
Now, if it pulls into the level that I think, okay, it's supposed to come down here first, validate, real strong support, and then make a mega rip. Cool. If it pulls a little bit, I'm just gonna nibble. I might take 10, 20, 30 shares. Cool. No problem. That's on a low float. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing,
Set yourself up for a paper cut, right?
Right, exactly. So
Exactly.
now if it does what it in theory, because there is no should or shouldn't, right? This is the market's going to do whatever it wants to do. But if it does what it's supposed to do in theory, it's supposed to pop, come back, validate support, and then go. If that setup plays out, then I'm going to size into the play because as it pulled back, validate support, I'm lowering my risk because the air underneath has been tested, right? And now if I'm wrong, my risk is way lower. So I can size in heavier because there's no air underneath me.
there's some risk, some error, but you have more confidence, right?
Yes, and I've eliminated a lot of the air,
Right.
AIR.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The air.
I was confused that with
Yeah,
MRO.
candle. There's air. It needs to come in to my level.
Gotcha.
Eliminate the empty space there. Let me get in. If I'm wrong and it breaks through the low, my risk has been lowered dramatically because I was patient. If
Right.
it runs and I'm impatient, then I have to size very small
Yeah.
because that air will fill because I know Kevin will be on the other side shorting the hell out of me.
Well, listen, I gotta
Bandits are always there, guys. Bandits are always there.
All
I
right,
gotta
Joe.
move on. I got this baby over here in the other room.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we're gonna sign
All right,
off.
boys. It was fun.
Dr. B. It was great having
Yeah,
you on
this was
here.
awesome, guys. Love it.
It's great.
Absolutely love it.
All right,
Always.
we'll talk soon. Have a good weekend, fellas.
Yeah, guys, let's get at it Monday.
Have
We're
fun
back
with your
at it.
family.
Dr. B, why don't you give us the last word on the night?
Amen.
All right. So the last word is stay humble in your verisimilitude. I'm too drunk, but it means
I'm gonna have to look that
Man,
one
that's deep, bro. I gotta Google that one.
up.
stay humble in your truth. Know what you know, but accept what you don't. Reject the unknown in your own security or insecurity, your own failings, your own fear. Absolutely accept it, reject it, let it go. Certainty, confidence, beneficence, and beneficence comes ahead of you, but it only comes from the rejection of everything else that doesn't serve you.
Amen. Yeah, appreciate that, Dr. B. Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like I gotta send you a check in the mail for all that. That was good.
All right,
It's
get off
okay.
the
I'll bill insurance. I
get
bill
off the
insurance.
top, boys.
Hey man, this has been awesome, guys.
Yeah.
So much value. So much value, guys. So much value. Love
so
it.
much.
All right, we'll
Appreciate
talk
it.
later.
Green team, we're out of here. Have a great night. We'll see you guys Monday morning fresh, and we're going to start the week off on a excellent green note, shorten all the plays that Coin Fox is buying up. All right, traders.
We're going to
Have a
shorten these swings.
All right.
exactly.
Have fun.
Have a great weekend.
All right.